issues, make sure to call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Top Shelf Country Cruise.
7 days. Today's hottest country artists. See performances by Riley Green, Chris Young, Lauren Elena, and Randy Hauser. Intimate shows, exclusive experience memories. One unforgettable vacation. Reserve your stateroom today at TopShelfCountryCruise.com. Top Shelf Country Cruise. The bar's set.
Russ Rollins here. Hey, the best investment this August is your health. That's right. Make August the month you take care of yourself. Listen, heart disease and many cancers can develop silently. You don't even know what's going on. Matter of fact, sometimes the first symptom of heart disease is a heart attack. You don't want to wait for that. Call my friends at Life Imaging. You pick up your cell phone and you dial pound 250. You say the keywords free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. There's a few minimum requirements, but take advantage of this. We've had so many of our listeners that have gone to Life Imaging, found out they had heart disease. They had no idea. They thought they were in great shape, and they had to have it taken care of, and it saved their lives. Also, cancer screening, super important to do. You can do it at Life Imaging. Just pick up your cell phone, dial pound 250, say the keywords free heart scan, and you'll be connected in seconds. Don't wait. Call now and take care of this. You'll be glad that you did. It's Life Imaging. Make sure you tell them that Russ and the Monster sent you.
No required subscriptions, no trial periods, no surprise charges, no monthly fees. iHeartRadio is different. It's 100% free. Download the iHeartRadio app now.
Sunnyside Plumbing.
Hey there, my sink is leaking water. I need help right now.
We're having a company-wide staring contest. Do you want to play?
But what about my sink?
Okay, me versus you.
No.
Ready, go.
No, I'm not playing. And you know what? I should have called Frank Gay.
Oh, I almost blinked.
I'm calling Frank Gay.
When it comes to plumbing problems, you want a helpful operator to guide you and an honest and reliable plumber to provide customized solutions for your home.
That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
Identity theft can cost more than you think. Drained investment accounts, stolen tax returns, lost wages, expenses for lawyers. It's a lot. That's why LifeLock is backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which covers up to $1 million for stolen funds, fees, and experts and lawyers, and out-of-pocket expenses. Don't face the burden of identity theft alone. Protect your future and finances with LifeLock. Join now. Save up to 30% off your first year with promo code BECK at LifeLock.com. 1-800-LifeLock.
Hello, people. How are you? Happy Thursday. Getting ready for a fantastic show. Hope you guys are staying cool out there. Staying cool. It's very hot. But just, wanted to stop by and say I love you. So there you go. You got that. That's what I got here. All right, see you in a second.
There's a clerk's office that puts people first, better customer service, modern technology, and easier access to service you rely on every day. I'm Rick Singh, and I bring a proven track record, 5-star reviews back to the clerk's office. I respectfully ask for your vote.
Because experience matters. On August 18th, vote Rick Singh for Orange County Clerk of Court.
Political advertisement paid for and approved by Rick Singh, Democrat, for Orange County Clerk of Court.
If your power bill is climbing and your pool pump's running nonstop, might be time for Solar Source. That's right. They specialize in high-demand homes, helping you offset rising electric costs with expert design solar solutions. Now, here's the deal. The difference with them is Solar Source has a large service department with manufacturer recommended experts so they can service or fix any solar system, no matter who installed it. Over 75,000 systems installed, a 25-year industry-leading warranty, and zero pressure, just real answers. Visit SolarSource.com. Solar Source, lower bills, better performance, total peace of mind.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisor. Visit TrajanWealth.com.
Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeartRadio station. Guaranteed human.
Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers.
The News Junkie is on. The best best friends you never knew you had, running through the most viral stories of the day. The News Junkie starts now.
It is Thursday, August 13th, 2026. Lots to get to today, from they know everything to the hilarious reason for a traffic nightmare in Washington, D.C., and why everyone is deleting the Honey browser extension, plus your calls, dispatches, emails, texts, and more. C-Lane is here.
Hello.
So are you. You can join us. Send us a dispatch over on thenewsjunkie.com or in the app right now. You can also watch the show on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Your message is rolling right to the studio in real time. How's everybody doing on a Thursday?
I'm good, man. I'm pretty good. How are you?
That took everything out of me. That was all I had, folks. Thank you. Have a good night. Take
downhill
it easy.
from here.
Yeah, that's it. It's a dead news day. I'm out. See you later. I don't want to do it anymore. I thought I've started to get like the early vibes that I was getting sick last night.
No.
Like I came home and I got the shivers all of a sudden.
Well,
and I was like praying. I was like, please let me be sick. I won't have to do the poker tournament this weekend.
Okay, well,
this is such a slow news
come hell or
day.
high water, you're going to the poker tournament this weekend.
I know.
Which I got to go shopping for. This is a busy week for me.
Why do you got to go shopping for a poker tournament? You go, you take cards, you be a celebrity, you wave, you kiss babies.
I need something to wear.
Go naked. It'll really be the talk of the town. If you go completely naked and then just claim yourself as a nudist over at the place where they hold the venue.
I would love to see the difference in amount of pictures taken with us at the step and repeat.
You think we'll get more if you're naked for?
I think we'll get less.
Because when we do this celebrity poker tournament each year, folks, first of all, billions of people from all over the globe flood out to just get near us.
Hell yeah.
And then when they do, they are forced through a line to take photographs with us, which absolutely is never awkward, and I love it. It is legitimately one of my favorite things to do in the world, obviously. And C-Lane may or may not be naked this year for the event. We just want to throw that out there. Now you guys know.
Question mark.
It's on the docket. Or he'll spend money, right? Spend money on stuff. I've dumped like $2,000 already this morning. I mean, probably another $1,500 before the end of the day. Oh, buddy, it's a tough one, man. We had to book the hotel room for the Keys coming up. Because we're going in about a month to Key West. We had to book the hotel room, and then Courtney goes, well, we got the poker tournament this weekend, so that means I got to go get my hair done today. And that takes...
I'm doing that tomorrow.
There were tours of duty in Vietnam that were shorter than it takes Courtney to get her hair done. There were like literally people who went off to war and came back in less time than it takes her to get her hair done. And it was probably cheaper.
That's the thing. That like my wife takes 3.5 hours every time there's a hair thing.
Oh my God.
Her nails take at least an hour, and it's like every time she goes, she texts me. She's like, "I hate this place. I hate this place." I'm like, "Why do you keep going there? Find a different nail place."
What's to hate, ladies? You're sitting there downing liquor and champagne.
I don't know if she drinks at her nail place, but the hair place is usually different. But it's one of the things I always say about Hammer and Nails. Like, I have an appointment tomorrow right after the show. I'm getting out of here, and I'm headed straight to Hammer and Nails to do my appointment before the poker tournament.
Nice. Okay.
And I checked the appointment, and it's like, you're slated for 90 minutes. And I'm like, ha ha!
Yeah.
Suck it, Ashley. It's less than half of the amount of time that you take, but
buddy,
still.
I go to a little boy's haircut place. It takes me 15 minutes tops, like to get there and get back in my house.
It looks like a 15-minute haircut.
How dare you? How could you do that to me? So money on the hotel.
If I had a 15-minute haircut, I'd put a hat over it all the time, too.
Money for the hotel in Key West, $500 for a hair appointment. And then Courtney's car, which was supposed to be covered by extended warranty, they keep hitting me up. They're like, "Oh yeah, we got this little thing that goes by the gas can lid thing." What I don't know. Here another $600, so we're up to about $1,500 on that front today.
Okay, so I haven't spent as much money as you today, but I did drop a couple $100 on an electrician this morning because I was having a problem with a breaker that wasn't turning on.
Uh-huh.
And today it turned on.
Oh, wow.
You
Okay.
know, like when somebody asks, like, when it's the same thing that happens to me. Like when
you mean like when you were trying to show him that it didn't work, it turned on?
It's the same thing when my mom asked for computer help or just electronics help in general, and she's like, I can't get the speaker, the wireless speaker, and I just like doop doop. It's working for me. It's weird, and so it turned on. And all he did was kind of like, he goes, well, I guess I'll at least open the panel and jiggle it a little bit.
To get his money?
$222.
That'll be $222. Folks, we're going to need some subscriptions today. We got one so far, one premium subscription over on thenewsjunkie.com, and gifted subscriptions are welcome too. Let's put our ears to the ground, our fingers on the pulse. Let's see what's happening to this great, big, wide world of ours. Let's go to school, baby. Yeah. Woo! That's right. We got the kids back in school. Parents are partying. Things are going well. They're sitting at their desks. They're unloading their backpacks. Some of them probably have guns. I don't know. But they are back in school in the United States of America. And as they are sitting at their desks, so far, people are learning and things are going really well, right? I mean, that's what I'm assuming. Here's a teacher who's made a video that's going viral today. Let's listen into the teacher.
These kids are leaving high school and going to college.
Oh, I saw this.
And they couldn't fill in 4 words. 4 words. I literally broke down in the middle of class. This is only day 2. And I have seniors.
This guy has the whitest teeth, just for those of you who cannot see, which is all of you, I've ever seen in my entire life. But he's upset, even though he's got very white teeth. He's upset and he's crying because he says the kids in his school, I think he said, can't write like 4 words down on a sheet. They can't read, they can't write, and they're sending them off to college very soon, or, like off, maybe they're not going to college, some of them. But they're sending them out of the high school. They're about to graduate soon.
Who simply cannot read, and seniors who cannot write. They can reason. They have the ability to defend their reasoning if it's talking to their homeboy, but applying that to a written text, 2 paragraphs.
Is this just a random picture of kids on the left?
I think so, because I don't think it's actually kids in his classroom, but they just did a side-by-side.
Our young brown men, our young black girls, and our young brown girls.
They can't read. They can't write. He said specifically the black and brown people, for some reason, he wanted to point them out. I've seen some of the white kids that can't read, too. I don't know if the problem's quite as bad, but
I have one.
Yeah, right. What a loser. Get with it, Jackson. Come on. Time is ticking, for God's sake. But he says they can't read. So I have so many questions about this. One, how do we feel, folks? Let's just be real about this. Let's talk today. How do we feel about the teacher influencer thing? How do we feel about that? Like, the guy's in the classroom, he's crying in his classroom. That's another. He's like crying in the classroom. He's like, they can't read. How do we feel about if your kid's teacher is also like an influencer online? Parents, would you be against that? Or how do we feel about that side of it? Because that's one thing I want to ask about, because he's crying and he's like being emotional about the status of the kids in class. And then as I watched this, I thought, oh man, so you're saying that the kids who are about to graduate high school, you're saying that they cannot read and write, but they're about to graduate high school. And I thought to myself, if only there was a way.
If only there was a person.
Well, I figured it out. All right. This have never been done before. So what I'm doing is I'm using some pretty revolutionary thinking here. If you listen to the show, this is what I'm absolutely known
my
for,
gosh,
right?
You're not even preparing me. I would have found a drum roll or something.
Yeah. So I've just come up with this. I've been thinking very hard about this problem. The kids can't read and the kids can't write, but they're about to graduate high school. My revolutionary idea, and I hope schools start to adopt this. Teachers, take note. Write this down. Here we go. Ready? Here we go. The long one. Quite long, actually. Why don't we fail them?
Yeah!
Why don't we fail the kids? Well, I don't understand this idea of like they can't read.
Go back to class, dummy.
Like I would step up and be like, I have a solution for this. Why don't we fail the kids that can't read and write? Oh, thank you. No, thank you, parents. Parents, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, parents. Like, why don't we fail the kids who can't pass the class? Why don't we fail the kids who can't read? If you have a mustache and you can't read, I mean, 11 different things have gone wrong. And you now, like, the teacher is just upset and crying. And like, what do we want? Like, I don't even know what the guy would say. Would he say more funding? You guys, there's so, you know how much money we spend on educating these kids? It almost seems like the way that we are teaching the kids isn't working. It almost seems like our abandonment of phonics and other things and our swap ups in the world of math have done more negative, more harm than good. It almost seems like it has nothing to do with the money that's being juiced into these districts and the fact that we let somebody get so far through high school that they're about to graduate high school and they can't read or write and the teacher's crying. Why don't we just fail him? Is that crazy? I don't understand why.
No, it's not really such a wild idea. Are we failing anybody?
I don't get it. Well, if Anthony goes, exactly, Sean. If you can't read or write, then you don't graduate. Like, if we had to say graduation day, what are the requirements we have for somebody to feel like we did you right and you're in a good position to go take on your life? If I had to say, like, name five things that we should see if the kids know them. And then if they do, then they're good and ready for life. And I'd be like, okay, reading, writing, at least basic maths, the ability to reason, and maybe an ability to understand and work through complex concepts or even simple concepts. I would say, like, if you have those five things, you can learn anything you want unless you're lazy. But if you can't do the first two, reading and writing, they're about to graduate soon. And then the college gets them, and the college is like, well, we're bringing them through the system here at Harvard. None of the kids can read, but I don't know if these kids are ending up at Harvard. But you get my point. It seems weird. Parents, I have to know about that. The couple of things that I've just tossed at you, I fully understand. One, influencer teachers, how do we feel? And them like being performative and crying in the classroom and stuff. Two, the situation where we put forward something that's like presented as an unsolvable issue, where we go, the kids can't read and write in class. And I go, okay, well, then keep them in class until they can read and write. Then give them their diploma. Maybe you think that's right. Maybe you think that's crazy. Let us know what you think.
Do we know anything about this teacher? Like, does he have an account that he posts on a lot? Like, is he an influencer teacher, or is this just like a one-off video where, he was
Darius Williams is his name.
Oh, started to type Rucker.
Yeah, Darius Williams, not the Hootie guy. And he's from Wheatley, Wheatley, W-H-E-A-T-L-E-Y High School. He said his students couldn't read 2 short paragraphs or fill in 4 words on a modeled sentence completion task. And I say to him, I'm sure he's a great teacher. Like, I'm not coming down on the teacher for what he's doing in the classroom. I'm sure like he's putting in the work and stuff. But if your kids can't write stuff down 4 words and they can't read a simple paragraph, do you know why that's the position they're in? Because they think they can get away with that. Because their parents aren't pushing them. Because the school isn't requiring them to be able to do things to get the grades that would make them pass.
So
I don't know if the world has changed so much, but when I was in school, this is how cooked we are. When I was in school, do you know what the thing I was most afraid of? Not going home with a bad report card and my dad whooping my ass. Not getting in trouble and being on restriction or having some things taken away from me like TV time. I was so worried that I might fail and have to end up in the grade again with the younger kids because that seemed unbelievably embarrassing. Yes. Or summer school.
When I was in elementary school, every year when you got your last report card, they would like check off a box that says promoted to the next grade. Mm-hmm. Now, when I was in elementary school, I didn't get bad grades, but I still was somehow worried that they would not check that box.
Yeah, right.
Like, they would not stamp me that I was promoted to the next. Usually, like, you shouldn't be surprised to be held back a grade. Maybe kids these days would be now, They're like, I thought we just go to the next class. We're in this class, we go to the next class. But usually I think, at least in our day, if you were going to get held back a grade, the writing was on the wall.
Yeah, and you would be scared, or you should be scared. You should be like, this is freaking embarrassing. I don't want to be held back. That's a nightmare.
This guy, Darius Williams, his Instagram account has 678,000 followers.
Damn, get it, dude.
But his account name is Darius Cooks. And he does have like some stuff about decorating his classroom and first day of school and all this kind of stuff. But the majority of his posts are all food. And it's not bad looking food either. I mean,
so he's like a multi-pronged influencer.
He's like decent on the photography level and he uses good coloring. And I mean, the guy does decent work, but I don't know that I would call him a teacher influencer. And there certainly are people who are more like that. And as like, if I were in that situation where my kid had a teacher who was like an influencer, I'd be like, well, is this, first of all, are they putting my kid in the content and, without telling me or without seeking my approval? And second, is their influencer career, which I put in nice, bold, big air quotes, interfering with their ability to successfally learn my child?
And if it's not, then I personally wouldn't have an issue with it.
Exactly.
Like, if they're doing a great job and your kid's not in the content, I don't care if somebody's got a side hustle. Go do it. That's fine.
It's like I don't know that I would have. I mean, this might change over the years because things change. Right now, I don't know that I would have such a big problem if the teacher was had like a side thing, like an OnlyFans thing.
Right.
Like, as long as my kid doesn't know about it, my wife would probably have a problem with it once I found out.
I'm just more and more convinced by the day. It has nothing to do with funding into these schools. It literally has to do with just like trying to pass everybody and not making anybody feel bad and not holding anybody behind, and parents who are like disconnected. But with everybody going back to school, I wanted to leave that out to you guys, parents and, school age kid parents. Let us know what you think. Give us your thoughts on all of this. Chat is blowing up with it, so we'll see what you have to think. But I have yet another story on this topic when we come back that could spur things up even more. Something that's happening at another school where I saw this and I go, wait, they're allowed to do this in school? Like, it knocked me back on my heels. I said, hold on. This is a thing that they do in school? I'll get to it. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Still looking at heavy traffic today in the Orlando.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Thursday. You are in the right place, YouTube, Twitch, and TNJ chat. We are the only show that can combat a news cycle this depressingly bad and slow with actually engaging content. And I promise you, as I do every day, nothing short of 4 hours, 3-ish hours of engaging, stimulating content. All right? I mean, I'm looking. I'm just going to shoot you straight, folks. You look at the homepage of CNN, a sailor fell off the USS Abraham Lincoln. Okay, that's terrible. Political insider stuff. The press secretary is leaving. When did coffee get so bougie? How many segments should we do on CNN's top story of when did coffee get so bougie today? You tell me. Okay? You tell me. I taught middle school and high school Spanish, 3 different states, private and public. Okay. Well, then, what in your estimation, in 3 words, what are the 3 things that are holding kids back right now? 3 words. 3 things in 1 word apiece. Like you said, money, whatever. 3 things that you think are holding these kids back, because it's undeniable at this point. With a few places like Mississippi and other places as standouts, most of these school districts have kids who are dumber than rocks, who can't do simplistic things like read or write and think that they don't need to be able to logically interpret things because they have AI to do that for them. Like there's a lot of broken brains. Discipline, attention span, and consequences. Lack of consequences. I don't disagree with that, actually. Although I think the attention span thing is being heavily combated by a lot of the counties that are getting rid of phones in the classroom, which is good, right? I mean, most smart people are against that. Money, politics, and smartphones. I don't think money has much to do with it, honestly. Interpreting. It's a new word. Lack of support from home. I don't disagree with that at all, Rachel. I think that's 100% right. I think we have too many parents who literally, like that woman in the video I played the other day, they view school as like a daycare. And then like, I'm here to have fun with my kid, right? Like that's what the lady literally said. My job is to have fun with my kid. And then school is like this daycare that they can drop their kids off from pre-K to 12. And that's just going to lead to bad outcomes. It's going to lead to bad outcomes every single time. So then those kids get trampled. And then those kids are like, why does no one want to hire me? Why do I not have a skill set for any of the jobs that are left after the AI takeover? And then that leads to a lot of other issues. That's a nightmare brewing. I know a teenager who doesn't care because nobody else does. I think they should reprimand the parents, guardians when the kid doesn't attend school. It used to be a legal thing. Tanya, I don't disagree with you, but the point is a lot of these parents don't give a damn about being reprimanded. If you reprimand them, a lot of the parents will be like, kiss my ass. My kid's so smart. You have no idea. You're failing my child because he doesn't have, A+ grades all over the place, and I'm doing an excellent job. It boils down to, like in so many other situations, the parents have absolutely no shame. So even when you try to shame them and try to give them some consequences, they're still like, who cares? 90 seconds and we're back live on the show. But what about the WNBA? We could factor that in too. Yeah, we could factor that in. I'm sure that's responsible. Kids have become a number with a dollar sign attached for teachers and systems like FT. Core issue is the home. The issue is I think, more so than anything, more even than the home, is the schools just passing kids, because schools have become laundering machines for money. And you don't get as much money if the kids aren't passing through the grades. So they solve the problem. They just pass all the kids through the grades. If I have the School of Sean and you're my pupil, and the Bank of Sean gives the School of Sean $100,000 for every child that graduates from the School of Sean, I'll just graduate all of you, and then the Bank of Sean will give me more money. And if I started to be serious about my grading and stuff, a bunch of you would fail, I would get less money. That's problematic to me. All right, we're coming back right now. Here we go. You should put more ownership on the administration. Well, on the administration at the schools, I think the buck stops literally with them. So yeah, I mean, I do put a lot of the blame on the administrators, the principals, etc. Stand by.
Facing a fantasy title, the Late Round Fantasy Football Podcast helps you draft like a genius.
And hopefully it helps you guys out the most.
This is what football sounds like.
Download the iHeartRadio app, search NFL, and press play.
Win $25,000 in free impact windows from Reese Windows. Text TRUST to 20129.
Real Radio 104.1.
Helping to spread awareness, or whatever the new buzz term is.
into the school year than this. Well, it was like a couple of days into the school year, and the teachers are crying. This teacher that we played just a little bit ago, if you missed this, it was a teacher from what state was it again, Sealand, that was crying? Texas. This Texas teacher was crying, and he said the kids in class, they just can't read. It's really, really bad out there. The kids, they can't even write down 4 words. The kids at his school, he says they're about to graduate, and they can't do anything. I'll play it for you just in case you missed this real quick. It's short.
These kids are leaving high school and going to college, and they couldn't fill in 4 words. 4 words.
4.
I literally broke down in the middle of class. This is only day 2. And I have seniors who simply cannot
pound the fist
read, and seniors who cannot write.
Okay, and I'll just stop it right there because the rest of it, some of you have heard already because this has gone pretty viral. But he says, first weekend, I've got seniors who cannot read and cannot write, and they're about to graduate. And maybe I'm too simplistic here. Maybe I've got this revolutionarily simple idea of saying, well, then don't pass them. Then they fail the grade and they're seniors again next year. And they're seniors again the following year if they can't do it. And then maybe they just never graduate because they didn't feel the pressure. So that's like one path is this revolutionary idea that I have where we should only let kids graduate when they learn the core things that they're supposed to be learning in school. And then the other one is like we just go, hey, we don't want to piss off the parents who view this as a daycare. And the parents who are so disconnected from their children's learning process and just blame everybody else all the time. We don't want to piss them off, and we want to get more money as a school. So just pass them. Pass them all. Pass every single one of them. And then I go, well, then look at the outcomes. I mean, this is, if you've been listening to this show for any period of time, this is why my entire philosophy on the world and politics is all about outcomes. I don't care about team red, team blue, team politics suck. I think a lot of the people in Washington are losers, but I do think that outcomes are important. So I want the best outcomes for the most amount of people. I want the most young kids to get a great education, learn how to do things like read and write so that they can tackle the world, come up with awesome ideas, and innovate and bring America to the next frontier. I think that's awesome. I want the best outcomes for anybody. Every single person deserves a chance, I think, in the United States of America. But how are we supposed to do that if they just pass everybody? And then the teacher's like, going viral.
Maybe that's what they
think
they're doing, giving them a chance.
Yeah, they're like, they need the paper of the high school diploma. Like, what does that matter? Do you think employers see the paper of a high school diploma and then they go, well, he can't read or write, and he's basically functional on like the level of a 5-year-old, but he's got the high school diploma. So here you go. Here's your job. Congratulations.
Well, didn't we recently hear that like the average age of new hires has risen? Like,
yeah, because
I mean, aren't the employers kind of seeing the writing on the wall and going like, high school grad?
They're hiring more old people. Yeah. They are literally, when you ask younger people too, they'll say, I think like 75% of them are frustrated and they say it's difficult to get a new job. Not all of those younger people who are complaining about this are in this position, but maybe a lot of them are like, hey, ask yourself a question. This is a big one. How employable am I? What can I do? This person came up with an idea for a business. How can I offer something to them that they'd want to give me their hard-earned money for? Like, those are big questions. But already this early into school, we're falling into some of these traps, it would seem. So I want to hear from some parents and what you think about that. And I also wanted to tell you this because this is also from Texas. And when I saw this, I go, oh, I did not know that this was a thing. Hang on, let me bring this story up in front of me here. You can watch the show, by the way, if you're interested. You can peer into the studio and see what's going on over here, over on youtube.com/The News Junkie.
I knew it was Texas immediately because it said HISD teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime ISD shows up, Texas seems to be the only place that has these independent school districts. Every time we hear about, he works for Houston ISD.
Okay.
And every time I hear about that, I'm like, why is that what seems to be a uniquely Texas thing, unless we're just not, maybe the other states that have these school districts aren't generating the headlines that the ones in Texas are.
I don't know. This one's MISD, so it's also the same. The second story I'm talking about, it's also from one of the ISD schools. But this could be at any school in the country for all I know. And now that kids are back to school, there's some controversy over something that was happening at this particular school. I want, again, to hear from parents on this one. It says the director of bands at McKinney High School sent a letter to parents on Tuesday, August 11th, clarifying undergarment requirements for the school year. A portion of the presentation was shared online that purportedly outlined female undergarment requirements with bullet points that included sections on sports bras and shapewear. Here we go. This is where I was like, wait, hold on. Is this a thing in schools? The sports bra portion of the presentation for these high schoolers included a requirement for them to perform, quote, a jump test. They said, you must do a jump test when testing out your sports bras for school. If you jump multiple times in a row and there is noticeable movement, you have to size down or find a new sports bra style or fit. Any style works as long as it holds formally, but you have to pass the jump test. And I thought, who's judging the jump test? Do we have teachers sitting there like, okay.
Yeah, I would assume a female teacher.
Young high school girls, line up. We have to do a jump test to see if there's any movement when you jump up and down. And if you do have let's just be clear. We're talking about the young girl's boobs.
Yes.
And then moving up and down. And I have never heard of this before. But ladies, tell me if this was your experience. Bootsy says, I saw this on the Man Show. I didn't think it was in schools. Yeah, I didn't think they did this in schools at the time. I mean, I know they've changed stuff since back when I was in school. Like, I don't think they even do. It was kind of an embarrassing day for me when we would do the scoliosis tests. I don't know if they had those while you were in school.
That's kind of what I was thinking of, because the scoliosis test, they separated us, and they had, one of the male PE teachers do the scoliosis test in the boys' locker room.
Yeah.
And then they had one of the female PE teachers, or like the female PE teacher, do the scoliosis test in the girls' locker room.
And they'd have to take off their shirts. Guys would have to take off their shirts.
I'm guessing whoever's doing this jump test is probably gender appropriate.
I would think, but you never know. You don't know who they're into or what they're into, no matter if it's a man or a woman or whatever. Melbell says, do guys also need to do a jump test to make sure their junk doesn't move around? I don't know. Fair question. It's a little bit weird. And I guess these are the things we're focused on in school. I would say less jump tests, more reading tests. Less jump tests, more writing tests. Again, I'm just a revolutionary guy over here, just a radical out here looking to change things for the better. And maybe, I don't know if we need to bring back the scoliosis stuff with everybody with that, that cell phone crane neck thing going on. As embarrassing as that might have been in the moment there. A couple of emails coming in to tips@thenewsjunkie.com. You can email the show if you want to be anonymous. Put that right up on top of your email. Tim emails, and he says, this is about public schools lying about grades. Public schools across America are lying about student grades on report cards. If we can't trust a report card to be honest and accurate, what the hell are we even doing? Question mark, says Tim. Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm just a simpleton over here, but it feels like the problem is that we've tied some of these things in. First of all, they're worried about the parents' reaction if they fail them in some cases. I think that's an issue, but because the parents, a lot of them are wacky. But I also think it's about the funding for the schools. And then they say, hey, if 100% of the students graduate, you get this much funding. And if 50% of the students graduate, you get this much funding. And they go, well, guess what? 100% of the students just graduated at our school. Money. Hold on, did they? And they go, well, yeah, they can't read or anything, but stop asking so much. Gipper says on YouTube, Sean, stop saying things that don't matter. School isn't for learning. I guess not. I guess it's for jumping. I guess it's for jumping up and down with your jump tests. Ashley emails the show, and she says the tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Sean, did you hear about Kroger making a third of their profit? This is Kroger, the grocery store, on a different topic here.
Oh, I thought it was the guy from Seinfeld.
It's not. No. Kroger making a third of their profit, over $500 million from selling customer data. Apparently, many companies are doing this to enable individualized pricing.
Damn, I thought it was Kruger.
Stores are reportedly moving toward digital price tags. While I'm not sure how they will identify who is standing in front of the product, I could definitely see what's happening, that happening somehow in the future. So you mean like I would get a different price and C-Line would get a different price and you would get a different price? That's no good. That's stupid. They can't do that, or they shouldn't.
I don't even know if that's legal.
Many people say online companies are already doing this by tracking IP addresses and web history, allowing airlines, online merchants, and even ticket sellers to price items based on personal information.
Okay,
Can you
well,
look more into this?
That's not a crazy idea then, because they do say they try to like raise the prices a little bit on stuff to get you to buy it quicker, because they're like, oh, the prices are going up. And I've heard some people, I don't know how accurate this is, but some people say like, hey, a life hack when you're buying your hotel rooms or airplane tickets is to use an incognito mode, so there's no cookies or a like
they don't charge you more?
record, that you've been there and that you've been shopping this already.
Well, Ashley says, I value your research abilities, opinions on the matter. Have a great day. Thank you. I looked into Kroger in particular, and they did make in 2024 $527 million. That is not, as you said, a third of their profit. Their profit is into the billions, around $3 or so billion. But it is a significant amount of money, $500 million they made on precision marketing profit, they said. And what they do is through their little card, you know that card you get when you go to the grocery store?
Yeah.
Through that, they track what you buy, and then they sell that data to everybody else.
I thought that was just to give me savings.
Well, it's not, unfortunately, C-Lane. And it gets worse, because I'll tell you a story that's blowing up today where you have no idea how much these companies know about you. Wait till you hear the details on this. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
Have you ever been come on to by someone really older than you?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think I've
42.
I've never done that. I've never like hooked up with somebody like considerably older than me. That's my wife's job. All right, 407-916-1041.
The Jim Colbert Show, weekdays at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Odoo.com Weather Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
Happy Thursday, Central Florida. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your forecast. And for today, it's going to be another steamy day. We have a heat advisory in place once again. That will begin late morning and last through about, say, 7 to 8 o'clock tonight to account for...
All right, everybody. Welcome in. So far, we've learned the kids are dumb and the young girls need to jump to see if their boobs jiggle in high school. That seems messed up. But we're going to go deeper. How many of you have a grocery loyalty card? Your grocery store has given you a loyalty card, whether it's Kroger, Publix, there's like a lot of different companies. And they started doing this a couple of decades ago, where they give you the little card and they go, oh, make sure you get your free card. And you go, why would they want me to save money and have this free card? Well, because with the card in the app, they have a data stream into your household like you wouldn't effing believe, man. Costco and Sam's, nice. See, a lot of people have these. Boy, I bet Costco and Sam's were maybe among the first, since they have membership cards, to do that data stream and tie what you're buying back to you. I don't really care if I get savings. Folks, it's easy to spot the bougie people. All you have to do is listen to them. We get it, Bootsy. You're mega rich. We understand. Everybody knows the Drizzlers got the money. We get it, Bootsy. We get it. Oh, bougie Bootsy over. I don't care about savings. In fact, sometimes I try to pay more. I'd rather pay more money. That way you don't have to shop with the peasants. I do it at Giant Eagle to get the fuel perks. Look, they can have all my data if I save money. I'm going to hold you to that, Ardenus. In this segment, I'm going to hold you to that. We'll see if you stick with it. Bootsy's got pillars. That's right. Bootsy's married to a doctor. They mix that Bootsy money and the doctor money together, and they put it into this big pile. And then their favorite pastime is actually diving into it, a la Scrooge McDuck. 2 minutes and we're back live on the show, folks. You're not going to believe this story. Google knows everything anyway. That's not untrue. By the way, Mega Chat is much better today. I wonder if Mega Chat's faster than the Restream multi-chat I've been using. It's very, very close. I mean, if I had that much money, I would do the same thing. All right, what store do you have a rewards card with? You know who else might have been first on this? Beat me on this, chat. I'm going to say who I think was the first with the reward card. All right? My guess, first company to have a reward card system that was very popular, that tracked everything that you bought, Blockbuster Video. Am I right? More people had Blockbuster Video cards than driver's licenses. I don't know if that's true, but it sounds about right. I can't think of anybody who would have had it before Blockbuster Video. 7-Eleven, you think that was before? We're coming back in 1 minute. And the story that is like really freaking people out today is what we're getting into next. Then we got a big update on a story that we followed about a week ago, which I was not expecting today. I am going to earn every bit of your attention today. It is the slowest news day I've ever encountered, in the slowest news week, and the slowest news cycle and news several months. But I'm still going to put on a show here today. And if you like any of it on YouTube, hit that like button. We're coming back in just a moment. Here we go.
You need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Whether it's help with hormone therapy, weight management, or sexual health, every woman should have access to affordable prescription medication and personalized care that understands the whole woman. Join me, Dr. Doug Lucas, clinical lead of hormone optimization and longevity at LifeMD, along with other leading experts on the podcast, Here's Something Good on Women's Health and Longevity. To learn more, go to lifemd.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big. No retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
Save every day at Headquarter Hyundai. We've dropped prices on acres of new Hyundais. Visit headquarterhyundai.com.
Send him your tips and your deepest, darkest secrets. Email tips at the new.
Come on and take a seat. Let's have some fun. And let's see what you got on your mind with your emails. And what we call dispatches is how you join the show over at thenewsjunkie.com. In this world, there are two types of people. I'm going to group you into two categories here before I tell you about probably one of the more jarring stories of the day that has a lot of people talking. Are there two groups of people? Team Never, right? We'll call you Team Never Gonna Give It Up. All right? Team Never Gonna Give It Up. And team
Never Gonna Let You Down.
Team Never Gonna Give It Up. and Team I Give Up. Those are our two teams, C-Lane. And the topic here is something that people talk about nonstop and has come up a lot this week, just came up in an email recently, where you talk about how much data companies are taking from us. And then those companies, like the person who emailed about Kroger, and they said, I heard Kroger made $500 million. $500 million in the last year selling customer data. Is that true, Sean? And I looked, and it is true. Yeah, over $500 million Kroger alone made from selling your data. And there's two teams. I am never going to give it up. Team never going to give it up. And team I give up. And the team never going to give it up people are like, you ain't getting any data from me. I'm not logging into your website.
Cold dead hands, Ron Swanson.
Yeah, like the guy who used to call C-Lane all the time when we have a merch drop, and he'd be like, hey, man, I ain't buying it on the website. I'll just purchase it over the phone. I'll give you my credit card number.
Which I put into the website.
You put it into the website like it's an old
I don't
meme.
think he was a never going to give it up guy. I think he just was very computer non-savvy.
Yeah. Well, those two kind of go hand in hand, I think.
Yeah, I think those two overlap. I don't think that, correlation is causation or however they say that. I just think that those two camps tend to share members.
Well, the team I Give Up, which I just saw Ardennis over on chat. You can chat and watch along with the show on YouTube or Twitch or TNJ chat, which is chat.thenewsjunkie.com. And Ardennis said, I don't care. They can have all the data of mine that they want as long as I can save some money. And Kroger gets it, like a lot of these other stores. And you guys know this. It seems pretty, non-offensive and trivial. And you go into the grocery store and you get that little card. And they go, do you have our savings card? And they go, yeah, here you go. And that was utilized by companies as far back as Blockbuster Video and all these other places that realize what you're buying and your buying habits are very valuable. So let's say...
I think I would even venture a guess as to say that Blockbuster Video had this system that they didn't know how valuable it was because you needed to have a card. You had to have a card to shop at Blockbuster, right?
Yeah, you bet your ass you did.
You had to have a card so they knew where you were to send the bill if you never gave them their movies back. I don't think that the initial idea or the original intent of having the Blockbuster Video card was to track your watching and try and make predictions based on your likes, your genres.
They may not have had the foresight to go that far ahead of time, but
we know that company lacked some foresight.
They did. Yeah, they
and
had some
that's why they
opportunities.
are rip.
Maybe should have gone a little Netflix route. Could have bought Netflix, but anyhow, yes, these companies do make a lot of money off you. That leads me to this story that is getting a lot of attention today from Wired.com, and the headline tells you this. It says McDonald's built a 515-page dossier on me. And for those of you who don't know, a dossier is just like a collection of information about you, usually referring to intelligence, the FBI, the CIA, those kind of things.
You can request this data?
You can, see,
buddy.
I was like,
let's go down this rabbit hole.
It says McDonald's built a 515-page dossier on me. It says I'll never stop eating there. And the person said, I requested a copy of my data from McDonald's loyalty program. I received an extensive personalized report that algorithmically predicts my next purchase. This is the kind of data we have. And team I Give Up. This is the kind of data that we've lumped onto these people.
Gizmodo, their version of this headline is your McDonald's file is probably bigger than your FBI file.
It probably is.
First of all, how big would my FBI file be?
I don't know, but they would be right about it probably because McDonald's got a big giant file on all of us. This person says, when I first downloaded the McDonald's app years ago over at Wired, I signed up for its loyalty program hoping to get better deals. Why not get some cheap French fries? They'll reel you in, by the way. They'll be like,
free Fry Friday.
Yeah, free Fry Friday, free drink with your purchase, but you got to download the app. And that's how they get you, right? They said, I understood that this would entail some kind of data tracking, but I didn't grasp how the information would be used algorithmically to predict my next purchase. As a California resident, I have a legal right to access the data a company stores about me, so I decided to request that information to McDonald's to understand what they're collecting about their customers. They said the report contains specific pieces of personal information about you that were identified by searching McDonald's systems, which contain information about their customers. And they said they had information like this. They have the estimated number of times you will visit in the next 6 weeks, right? They're predicting with their app, and they'll show you this. McDonald's thinks that the person who requested the data will visit 2.16 times in the next 6 weeks. They have the estimated average order spend during the next 6 weeks, the estimated total spend, customer group based on historical transactions. So they group you into different categories and stuff. The most transacted occasion type.
I think they're giving you a figure that doesn't mean anything to you, but means something to them about the customer group.
CV2.
They're calling this person a CV2, which is probably the equivalent to in radio when we say somebody's a P1 or a P2 based on ratings data. I think that's their version of that.
Yeah, like somebody who buys McDonald's multiple times per day will probably be the top category.
CV1.
They can tell you what location you're going to come to, your most purchased product, your top product category, which is like chicken wraps for this person. They literally have a trove of data on you. And our two categories of people, some of them don't even know. I think sometimes the never going to give it up category of people is like, I ain't giving you that information. Now let me put my order into the McDonald's app so I can get my value meal right now. And then the I give up people are like, they got it all already. Here's what we have. McDonald's has a 515-page document about this person. So I ask of you, are you in never going to give it up category or I give up category? And why? Why? I think I give up category might win this thing because where do we go from here? I don't know if there's a way out, but this is the story. McDonald's built a 515-page dossier on me. It says I'll never stop eating there. Quick break. We'll get your thoughts on this as we roll forward over at tips@thenewsjunkie.com on the email side, or record your message at thenewsjunkie.com right now. We got time for a dispatch, right?
Yeah. Sure. Quick one.
We got times for a dispatch. Here is Mama Greaser talking about the school situation.
Good afternoon, News Junkies.
Hey.
You guys are talking about like the teacher, who's crying about his kids can't read and write. And I think that is crazy. That blows my mind. I have a 4th grader and an 11th grader.
All right.
And both of my kids have been required to read and write before they were allowed to go to another grade. I am so mind blown how a kid can get that far in school and not be able to do either one. And as far as a teacher being an influencer, honestly, I don't mind. Teachers are real people too. They have to have side hustles.
Sure.
If they want to be an influencer and they're making money. Now, as long as they're not like calling specific kids out or giving names or, that kind of stuff. But as far as just like doing it, the TikTok on the side, I think that's fine. Anyways, love you guys. Have a great show.
Thank you, Mama Greaser. Great dispatch. Appreciate that. This is exactly what I'm asking for. Word from the parents with some skin in the game here as to what they think about all of this stuff. And that's what we're getting in. Craig says it's the same over there where he's from in Colorado as well.
Hey, News Junkies. This is Craig from Colorado. Just want to let you know that we also have the same problem with our school districts out here, where we have kids who are going to be graduating or has graduated high school, and they don't even know how to write their damn name, or they can't even write a sentence. They don't even know how to read. Some of them. I swear to you, we got to stop this. We're going to let every child pass regardless and actually hold these kids back. Have a great day.
Well said, Craig. Appreciate the dispatch. We're going to take a quick break. I got a lot of emails coming in and an update on a story. I didn't think we were going to get an update on this story. It was a crazy one that we were talking about. I'll bring the video back up if I can of this interaction that led to this drama. But an update coming in from an emailer. I'll explain everything that's going on and bring you up to speed on the drama that's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Your 30 seconds of airtime away.
There we are. Welcome behind the scenes of the show. Oh, man, I got to tell you, Mega Chat is better and faster and sexier today. None of you will notice this, but I definitely am. How are we doing so far? 1 hour down, 3 hours to go. Slowest news day of the century. How are we doing so far? I hope you're all right. As long as they're not posting photos or videos of my child on the internet, then IDC. Yeah. I mean, if a teacher was doing viral videos where they were talking shit about the students, they're like, David is a dumbass. And he thinks he's going to get with Brittany and she wants nothing to do with it. Like if they were saying personal stuff, that seems out of line and out of pocket. But otherwise, yeah, who cares? Who cares if people want to be influencers on the side? As long as the teachers aren't OnlyFans models, all right? That's where we apparently draw the line. We can't do that. Good job, Coderino. Thank you. Does Mickey D's think they're better than Mr. Predicto? I sure hope not. No way. Somebody says, did you see this? A man ran across the train tracks and saved a woman, and his name was Joshua Fowler? No shot. Bob. Let me see. Joshua Fowler. Ain't no way. When I search for Joshua Fowler, I see Joshua Fowler sentenced for triple murder. That's what I'm getting, sir. So I'm not sure. Maybe you got the name wrong. Maybe it was spelled differently. I'm not sure. Hey, Barbara, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Ex-swimmer says, I don't really think what political side a company is on when I decide to eat there. I don't think most people do. And generally when they do, they have an absolutely retarded take on what they think the politics of the company is. That's the weird thing. You know, I think the problem has actually been, strangely enough, that people want to force the politics on their companies, right? And we saw that peak in 2020, woke 1.0, 2.0, whatever, whichever one. They wanted to force the politics on the company. Bake the cake and all of that. Couple of minutes and we're back live. Lots of companies are S. Life sucks, so if things make me happy, I'm not stopping. Well, I'm sure we all have a line we wouldn't cross, right? Like if you, like I eat the same sticky rice for lunch every day and I love sticky rice. I love it. Sticky rice and chicken, little sriracha on top. I love it. But if I heard that the sticky rice company was somehow funding like a child slaughter somewhere, or like the Russian government drone program was funded by my sticky rice company, I might think twice about it. Don't forget, we are taking for Rate My Blank this week. I want to know what your best celebrity encounter is. Keep it short, 30 seconds or under. Record your dispatch over on thenewsjunkie.com. I got a ton of them to play. We'll start working those in next. Never had sticky rice? You've never in your life? You're an adult. You've never had sticky rice? Not one time? And have you ever had sushi? Have you ever had sushi or anything? There's no way. 2 of them now. Now Feral Kitten says, I've never had sticky rice. I don't believe it. There's nothing shockingly different about it. It's just rice that kind of clumps together, and there's a couple of things that go into it. It's the stuff that they use for sushi. Costco sticky rice is so good, so effing good. True. You've never had sushi ever? That's crazy. All right, let's see if we can get you an exclusive story, Skull Mike story, out of the stack here today. All right, here we go. Oh, this is something we could toss out here because it doesn't really deserve too much time. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt is leaving. Leavitt is leaving the Trump administration. I want you to rate how you think she did at her job. 1 out of 10 right now. The White House press secretary has announced she's leaving her job. I think she just kind of came back after having a baby. Caroline Leavitt, rate 1 out of 10 how you think she did at her job as she marches her way out the front door. A 0? It can't be a 0. Mid? No, she can't be a 0. You mean she's the worst White House press secretary of all time? No one has ever been? Bye-bye butthole mouth? Sport Johnson gives her a 5. Jason goes -1. -1 for him. We got a 10 and then a 0. This is an eclectic audience, right? The White House press secretary leaves. We got a 10 and a 0. We got a lot of different people here. I like that. All right, let's get into this update. It's time. I did not expect to see this today on my desk. But we're going to do it. Here we go. No, not here. Stand by.
Great experience starts with a spark. Ignite the excitement at Daytona Beach Poker, where you'll find all your favorite casino-style table games, including Ultimate Texas Hold'em, 3-card poker, Pi Gal Poker, Mississippi Stud, and more. Whether you're chasing a big hand or enjoying a night out with friends, the action is always burning bright. Plus, with Ember Rewards, every hand helps you earn points toward cash, dining, gift cards, resort getaways, and more. New members can earn up to $150 in bonus cash. Daytona Beach Poker. It only takes a spark. Visit today.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Coming to you live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Need help after an accident? Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human. Where common sense meets complete nonsense. This is the News Junkie.
Have you with us. Learn more over on the website, which is at thenewsjunkie.com. You heard that right. It's got an IE on the end, by the way. Thenewsjunkie.com.
What are you laughing about?
I'm going to have to clean this up. I was just scanning the texting service, and you were talking about...
You're laughing and saying, I'm going to have to clean this up in your studio? I'm concerned.
No, I'm going to have to clean this up when I repeat it.
Oh, okay.
Because you were talking about the various teams of... information, team never going to give it up, and team
you're not going to give your info to companies. Yeah, with team never going to give it up, and then if you're like, I just resigned to this team, I give up.
Yeah, and then somebody had texted in, my wife's BH is on team never going to give it up.
Jesus. What's wrong with you people? What, you had to clean that up? How graphic was the language that preceded this?
I wasn't going to say the whole word.
My God. All right. I have an update on a story we've been following for quite a bit. But before that, this is going viral right now. That's what we do around here. I want to present this story to you about this woman. And she went to lower the air conditioning in her house and was confronted with something that really disturbed her. She made this video. Let's listen in. I mean, it's hot. It's a hot week in the United States of America. Let's see if we feel for this lady, and let's see if she's telling the truth. We'll look into the tech and all that side of things. Here we go.
My own thermostat was 79, and I wanted to put my daughter to bed, and it had a little warning that said, you are not allowed to lower your thermostat set point because the energy grid in your regional area is stressed.
Okay, I'm going to stop right there. Already, your AC was at 79?
Yeah.
My AC has never been, I don't think I can go to 79. 79?
Remember yesterday when I said I woke up and it felt warm in my house and I was like, something is wrong? I went and checked the thermostat and it said it was 79. It said that it was not set to 79, but it said that the temperature in the house was 79. And I was like, this is bad.
That's how you knew something was wrong.
That's how I knew something was wrong, because it said it was 79. It's never been set to 79 ever in the history of Everdom.
This woman was at 79 and she put the baby down to sleep and she goes, all right, let me turn the AC down a little bit to a normal person level. And she got a message, and I'll go back to this so you can hear what she said, because this is going to become more commonplace.
My own thermostat was 79, and I wanted to put my daughter to bed, and it had a little warning that said, you are not allowed to lower your thermostat set point because the energy grid in your regional area is stressed. And I took a picture of it, and I posted it on social media. And I was
all right. It says, to conserve energy in your community due to stress on the regional energy grid, you cannot set your temperature to be lower. I have Nest thermostats throughout my house.
Same.
They all the time try to get me to like agree to this like Nest savings thing. No.
Opt out.
No. I don't know if this is a program she maybe opted into, but it literally told her, an American, might I say, let's just keep this in mind, an American in their home that they pay for in the United States of America, when they went to turn their air conditioning down from 79 so their baby could sleep, they said they got a message that says, to conserve energy in your community due to stress on the regional energy grid, you cannot set your temperature to be lower. That's anti-American. America is about freedom. It's about being able to have air conditioning. We're better at this than France and Spain and all of Europe. They're melting and dying, literally dying. And it said you cannot do this. You're not allowed to do this. Can this possibly be true? Let's see what else we learn here.
Because I was thinking, I understand why this is happening, but, the average consumer is just going to see you're not allowed to control your own air conditioner in your own house without a reason other than the energy grid is stressed. And B, there needs to be, especially for sensitive communities, an easier opt-out feature. So I was able to find one, but I think there always needs to be an opt-out feature for infants, for elderly people, for people that have health conditions. It's literally not safe to have.
Yeah. She's right. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it said on the AC cannot be set lower. She found a way to like click, like it's a computer going through your digital thermostat and disable it so that you can still function. Kind of like I have to do with the laser printer. I print out all this stuff for the show. I got this update coming up in a moment here. And I print all this and I print your emails and stuff because I act like it's 1975 and I need to print things. And I go over to my printer, and when I put in the Amazon toner that I've purchased, which is way cheaper, I could get 6 things of toner, which will last me about 3/4 of a year. I can get 6 of them for $80, or every single one of the toners that you're supposed to put in it are $120. Okay? So it's craziness. But if I put in one of the Amazon bootleg toners, it tells me, well, this is unapproved. We're not supposed to be able to put this. Sorry, can't print. And then I go into the settings and I go, nope. Turn this off. Turn this nonsense off. and then it takes it and it prints the stuff. So there's workarounds, but maybe that's just for now too. Right now, maybe very soon you'll be like, nope, you cannot change your own thermostat.
No,
you'll be like C-Lane over at HQ, iHeart HQ. They don't let them. They put them in a little lockbox.
I don't even think those things inside the lockbox work anymore. I think well, mine's not in a lockbox. I know if I start touching it, it's not going to do a damn thing.
It just sits there.
Yeah.
It's
it's thermostat theater up in here. But if it was coming to that, if it was coming to some sort of situation in which they were trying to remove my ability to opt out, well, that would be the end of my Nest thermostat. It would just be,
see you later.
I get an open source thermostat that does the job for me, or I just go back to a mechanical thermostat with a big old tube of mercury inside and do it old school.
Yeah, here's the kicker on this, okay? With the new technology and with giving up more data, people in the never going to give it up category losing out miserably, right? And everybody doing this. And now our thermostats are giving data back to people. How about you sell me electricity by the kilowatt hour and you mind your GD business as to what I'm using it on? It shouldn't matter to you in the slightest, but I could use that same amount of power on anything else in my house that I wanted to. I could fire up 10 pool pumps. I could do all these things and nothing would be affected by it. But if I use my AC because it's connected back to the power company sometimes, they will literally tell you cannot do that. You are not able to do that.
It's like your bank going, well, I see that you go to a lot of bars. I'm sorry, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Your job
Mind
is
your
to hold
business.
my money and let me spend it when I want to spend it.
Yeah, indeed. Mind your business. What are you doing here? I'm not a fan of this. We'll see what you think about it, and get your emails and dispatches, of course, worked into the show here in a moment. A quick viral moment for you. There's a bit of a slip up on Candace Owens. We know who Candace Owens is?
Absolutely. Candace Owens is the one who's being sued by the president of France because she's crazy.
Yeah. She thinks his wife is a man and has a penis. Or at
you
least
think she thinks that?
No, I think she might be trolling on that front, but it's like, come on. I love when people do that stuff and if somebody fired it back and I was like, no, I know somebody who gave oral sex to Candace Owens, and she has a bigger penis than the First Lady of France. And you just went with that on a big platform for like years and years and years. She'd probably like, what are you doing here? But she, on her show, which is warping the minds of a lot of stay-at-home moms and stuff, people get pulled into this net, from all different sides of the political equation. But I did like her recent slip-up. Sometimes on a show like this, even me talking into the microphone right now, just one little slip up you may never get away from. But here's the clip that's going viral of her slipping up on her show. Listen.
The elite of the Mormon culture, the cream of the pie, they get introduced to one another.
All right, that's it. Short, sweet. I've always heard it myself personally as cream of the crop.
It's the cream, yes, the cream of the crop, yes.
Cream of the crop. I've heard cream of the crop. I've not heard this.
Elite of the Mormon culture, the cream of the pie.
I've never heard the cream of the pie.
Is there a situation in which the cream of the pie could be even more elite than the cream of the crop? Is there a hierarchy that elevates the cream of the pie higher than the cream of the crop?
If I'm going to be honest with you, C-Lane, when I hear cream of the pie, my head goes to a certain place. And it's not...
What, Dunkin' Donuts?
No, when I hear cream of the pie, I am not thinking about the same thing that I'm thinking about with cream of the crop.
Mm-hmm.
Unless, in very specific instances, the two cross. Cream of the crop.
Oh, if you take the cream of the crop and make a pie out of it.
The cream of the pie, cream of the crop, that might be, it's a category somewhere. You understand what I'm saying here, but that just maybe a slip of the tongue. Maybe a slip of the tongue. I had not heard of that before. The cream of the pie. All right, let's get into you and your dispatches here on the show. Let's see what you have to say. You can get your thoughts and ideas and even rate my blank entries into the show. Rate My Blank for this week is Rate My Celebrity Encounter. Tell us your time, most weird, most interesting, running into a famous person. Be a good storyteller. Give it to us in about 30 seconds or less. We're going to pick a winner this week. Now we have, let's see, Insecure Walrus with a hack, a way to not give over your data. He says he's got a workaround.
Where I live in Nashville, Kroger is the big grocery store, and they know all about me. They know everything I buy for everything. Mm-hmm. But I was once traveling in North Carolina and came to a new grocery store that I'd never been to before because it was local to there, and it was expensive without the discount card. So when I got up to the register, I had seen a hack video, one of those, do this at the grocery store things on Instagram. And they were basically saying, take whatever the area code is of where you are and put in 867-5309, Jenny's number. And I did that and it worked. It said, here, discount card applied. And when it printed out the receipt, whoever owns that number, which is everybody using that little hack, had saved over $9,000 in groceries that year.
That's pretty funny.
Oh, really? So a lot of people are using that.
You're using like a common phone number. I'm sure there are other phone numbers that are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or something. And I don't think it's necessarily the person who owns the number, because I think in most area codes that number is non-functioning.
They just not lock it out so nobody can have that one?
Right. Or unless you would really want that number. I don't know why you would. But
for you folks who are young, there's a famous pop song, Jenny 867-5309.
But I think like if there was a name on that receipt, it would just be like the name, likely fake, of the first person who used that number to sign up for the rewards.
Probably. So that's a lot of money. That's a lot of people using that. Here's some Rate My Blank entries. Best celebrity encounters. Tokyo, go ahead.
Best celebrity encounter was Scarlett Johansson and I worked at Disney. I was working the parade to make sure no one was obscuring the view for anybody else. And there was a man standing on the stairs and he wouldn't move. And people were trying to walk past. And I asked him politely to move twice. He just kept standing there. And then his wife comes and tells him to move, get out of the way. And then she comes over and apologizes to me, says, I'm sorry, my husband can be difficult. And I was like, don't worry about it. It's no problem. A few minutes later, my manager comes up to me and goes, that woman, do you know who that was? I go, no, who was it? And she goes, that was Scarlett Johansson in disguise. She had been eating at the restaurant that day. And she was really sweet. She gave me a hug before she left, told me I had a great day. And also, just so you know, the husband was not Ryan Reynolds. It was the second husband.
I was wondering who the pain in the ass was. So Scarlett Johansson, nice. Whoever the other husband was.
Second husband.
Chat, do the math for us. Who was the other husband that was the jerk that wouldn't move out of the way?
That was Romain Dariak.
I don't know that guy.
He does not have his own Wikipedia page. He's sandwiched in between two famous people who have Wikipedia pages, and he's just not hyperlinked text there.
All right, it happens.
I did not know. I didn't realize she was married to Ryan Reynolds. I think maybe I blocked that out of my memory or something.
I don't think I recall that either. Here's Matt from Port St. Lucie who says he has a celebrity meeting.
Another celebrity meet and greet. Darren Melkonen.
Who?
Guitarist for System of a Down.
Oh.
Me and my girlfriend walking behind the
the cream
venue.
of the pie.
Bunch of people talking to a guy. We walk over. Hey, what's up? Oh, you're the guitarist. My girlfriend, wife beater, no bra, goes, hey, sign my shirt. This little teenage girl goes, hey, I was here first. She goes, he'll go to you when you grow. High-fived her, gave me a hug, and we moved on our way and let the kids play with the guitarist.
All right. I'm not going to bookmark your story, not because it wasn't good. It was okay. But because I don't know, I would never have known who Darren Mellon or whatever his name is from System of a Down.
You already forgot his name.
Yeah. I only know the wake up. I know that guy. What's his name? Sars Chankarian or something
Sars
similar?
Chankarian.
I'm pretty sure you mock me, C-Lane. I'm about 55% sure the lead singer of System of a Down, the wake up. I'm pretty sure that's Sars Chankarian. Sars Jakari, something like that. I'm pretty sure I'm in the ballpark of what that guy's name is. One more for now. Here is
Serge Tankian.
Okay, come on. grading on a curve like they do in these schools, you would give that one to me.
Sure.
That would be a passing
You can have
grade.
it.
Last one for now. Here's ND fan with the dispatch.
So my celebrity interaction, which I know Sean and Sealand and Josh will appreciate, is 1999's
The 1900s.
Warped Tour here in Orlando. I was crowd surfing with my girlfriend.
All right.
And she ended up getting over the fence. I followed her, but ended up on the stage.
What?
At Warped Tour with Blink-182. That was pretty cool. I mean, everybody high-fiving me, and so that's what I got. Have a great day.
That was the last high five he ever got, this poor guy. ND fan. Well, he met Blink-182. That's kind of cool. Sounds like a quick meeting, but a meeting nonetheless. And I want to see your stories. I want to see those flowing in as dispatches over at thenewsjunkie.com.
I actually had read the Scarlett Johansson story before the show today because I was just kind of flipping through the dispatches, seeing who was talking about what.
Yeah.
And the transcript, I didn't listen to it, so I just read it, and I was like, I don't know what this guy's talking about. It said Scarlett Johansson in the skies instead of in disguise. And I was like, all right, what?
Scarlet in the sky. yeah, okay. That would have thrown me off, too. I wasn't looking at it when I hit play, though. The update that we were talking about is, I didn't work it into this segment, but this was one where it was a really dramatic video we played, and people were freaking out about it and said that there should have been an arrest. Well, there has been an arrest now, and I'll outline the story for those of you who didn't hear it. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is
The Monsters in the Morning.
Top of the morning, boys. Sport from Jacksonville. You know, nothing says Amber's a brown-nosed reindeer more.
Hey, welcome behind the scenes, everybody. We got to talk about this surrogate story in California, which is crazy. We'll do that in this next segment. We will talk about that. Cream of the pie, baby. Cream of the pie. Now, I got to tell you, I'm looking at our goal here. Our goal is 25, either subscriptions or gifted subs. And we have one. We have one subscriber today so far. Those are some minor league numbers. That is sad. I want you to subscribe. It's as little as $2.99 to support this show. And it's the best way you can support us. The money goes to us and not to the giant corporation behind this radio show. They only get a tiny processing fee. It's the best way to support us. So go subscribe. Sign up for a premium subscription, unlocking uncensored secret shows over on thenewsjunkie.com, or gift some subscriptions. We got people getting smart who own little businesses and stuff and putting that in their username. Let's get it going. Love to Wookie. Adolf Oliver Nipple, thank you for the 115 months. Those are long-running subscriptions. Thank you for supporting. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Let's get those numbers up, folks. But what do we think about this? If there is a woman who is pregnant and there's a couple that is working with this woman in a surrogacy plan, and some health information comes out and the couple's like, no, we want you to terminate that pregnancy. But the surrogate mother is like, I don't want to terminate the pregnancy. Who do you think should win that battle? The surrogate or the couple? The woman giving birth or the couple? And the couple's like, this one looks like a dud. I think maybe you should pull the plug on this kid. Because that has happened not once. We talked about one, I think that was in Canada, but twice now, where this woman was scheduled to be a surrogate. The baby had some heart issues, and she fled. I think she was in Alaska. We'll talk about this. She fled to Texas, where abortion is illegal, basically. so that she could not have this child aborted. I don't know what the other circumstances would have been. Like, would they forcibly have done this? But she fled to Texas, and she's having the child, which is being born with some sort of heart condition that requires some surgeries on the child. Her body, her choice, we got worked in. The surrogate, somebody says. Yeah, I mean, would anybody in the world, MFQ says not sure, case by case. Explain to me a circumstance where a woman who is pregnant should have to go by the whims of a couple who is utilizing her as a surrogate. And they go, well, you know what? We got the test results back, and actually, this kid is going to be a dwarf. And the couple's like, well, we don't want a dwarf. Terminate the baby. And the woman has the baby terminated, you know. Baby's gone, and she didn't want to do this, but the couple forced them to. Like, under what circumstances should the surrogate couple have any right to control what this woman does? The way I see it is that baby's not yours until it's born. That's how I see it. Sounds like a conversation that should have been had for the implementation. I'm sure it's in the paperwork somewhere. I would need to see the agreement between the surrogate and biological parents. Not me. See, I don't even give a shit. If you said, well, you signed this paperwork, and it says that you're being a surrogate for us, and if we think that this baby's going to have medical problems now, we want you to get an abortion. So go in there. You're getting this late-term abortion now. No. I still think, I don't care what the contract says, I still think the woman with the child in her body should be able to make whatever decision she wants. That's me. It depends on how much she got paid. Why? Hey, Stephen Ocala. If the paying parents paid her for a job, in the paying parents' eyes, they paid her for a job. However, I think they should give back any financial compensation if she wants to keep it, and they don't. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I actually think a surrogate should get a final decision before they even hand over the child to the surrogate parents. I think if they gave birth and they felt a connection that they did not expect with this child when it was born, I think even in that moment, they should be able to keep that child. A lot of you probably disagree with that, but I don't care. If a woman was having a baby and then promised it to some other couple and then gave birth to that child and then felt such an unexpected and instant bond with the child that she was like, I can't give this child up, I think the woman should be able to have the baby. Hell no, we paid for the child and waited. Well, I mean, you're going to have to wait again. You know what I mean? Sorry. I don't think it happens very often. But in those rare cases, I think these women should be able to make the decisions themselves. But let's get to the details. Maybe that changes our minds. Stand by. Here we go.
Protection. The note was based on the S&P, gold, and silver, and our clients won't lose principal as long as none of the ETFs are down more than 40% 4 years from when we place the trade, and the bank guaranteeing them doesn't default. This isn't an offer because we already traded this note, and structured notes aren't for everyone. But if you would like to know more about how structured notes work and what we currently have available, just give us a call at 407-606-6000.
Advisory services offered through Talent Private Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The opinions voiced and information provided in this material are for general informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual.
Pull up a chair to At the Table, the Food Allergy Podcast. Each episode, we'll explore how food allergies shape the way we travel, date, celebrate, and connect. Because living with food allergies isn't just about what you can't eat. It's about still having your seat at the table. Brought to you by Genentech and Novartis. Listen to At the Table, the Food Allergy Podcast on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow At the Table and start listening on the free iHeart Radio app today.
For all your plumbing needs, go to modernpi.com.
Where common sense meets complete nonsense. This is the News Junkie.
The big question, the huge question that people scratch their heads about and ask themselves all over this great country of ours. The people always want to know, what song is C-Lane playing back?
I knew it was going to be that.
We all see you, C-Lane, during the break. You can watch the show continues
see me? You don't
on
see me.
over at youtube.com/thenewsjunkie. Yeah, they can see you on my monitor screens and all sorts of stuff in here in the studio.
Okay,
yeah.
I see that.
And they see you sit there in your studio and pull up a guitar and you're playing along, and people are always like, what song is C-Lane playing back at the studio?
That one I was messing around with a little Mighty Mighty Boss Stones, but a couple breaks ago it was Hotel California, just for old time's sake.
Yeah, so you're just sitting in there, just riffing off and sing. Are you singing? I didn't.
Sometimes I sing. I try not to sing too much.
If you're going to do that during the breaks, you could at least entertain the people, C-Lane. I think that you could do that for them. But
I'm a little
couple of things to get into. Let's do this quickly here so we can get all set up for the hot sheet. One more controversial than the other. The one that's not controversial at all is somebody emailed, Trevor did, and he says, "Hey, Sean," to tips@thenewsjunkie.com. "Looks like we got an update on the story we were following. Thought you might be interested in seeing it. Keep up the great work. Love the show. Wiggle, wiggle, pop, pop." And it says, "A man accused of urinating on a family at a Morgan Wallen concert has been arrested."
Mm-hmm.
And I do remember that. It was the guy, this man was at a Morgan Wallen concert, and he said he felt something on the back of his legs and on his back. And he looked back, and the guy behind him at the Morgan Wallen concert was urinating on him and his wife and doing this in front of his kids that were with him.
It was his wife, his brother, and his 8-year-old niece.
Yeah. And then he recorded himself.
Makes more sense because I thought, I don't know why, whatever led me to believe that he was just at the concert with his niece. And I'm like, if I were that guy and I have to explain to my family, hey, I took young what's her name to the Morgan Wallen concert, and I hate to tell you, but she got peed on by a random old man.
Yeah, the cops were like, you remember the cops being like, there's nothing we could do about this.
Yeah.
I have the video, but I don't think I could play this. Do you think if it's from a Fox affiliate, do you think it would be censored on Facebook?
I think it's more likely for it to be censored. We can give it a shot.
Let's give it a shot. This was the moment the father was complaining to the cops.
Transportation Authority police announced the arrest of a North Carolina man accused of peeing on another concert goer during Morgan Wallen's show. This happened last month at M&T Bank Stadium. Good morning to you. I'm Shannon Lilly. This is your Morning Minute. And that suspect is identified as 33-year-old Jason Reed. He faces 4 charges of second-degree assault, public urination, and other related offenses.
The weird thing was the cops in the moment were like, there's nothing we could do about this because we didn't catch him doing it.
Hey, are any of the other related offenses related to having your wiener out in front of an 8-year-old?
I hope so. Well,
other related offenses, 4 counts of second-degree assault. That's probably 1 for each person he peed on.
Yeah.
Public urination and other related offenses.
Yeah.
You had your wiener out, man.
Yeah, in front of a kid, little girl, for God's sake. 8-year-old girl who's seeing all of this go down.
Well, a Baltimore City pool.
That does it. They at least got somebody in custody.
They really got through that quick.
Yeah, they ripped onto the next
right
one.
onto the pool.
I thought we were going to get more than that about this. Is this, maybe we'll get more details over here?
The pool, also full of pee.
Is this a report? Hang on, right here.
Morgan Wallen performed at M&T Bank Stadium. Police arrest a man accused of urinating on fellow concertgoers. You remember the viral video as victim Troy Grevelding said MDTA police, that is, told him that night that there was little they could do. Now, suspect Jason Green is being held in North Carolina, facing extradition to Maryland to face charges including assault.
All right, so they got him. They got him in custody. You can't just pee on people. Thankfully, justice comes full circle at some point in time. That's good to know.
Extradition sounds so much worse than it really is when you're just going from North Carolina to Maryland.
Yeah, it
He's
seems like you're
facing
going to
extradition.
It seems like you're going to Russia. Like you're going somewhere. You're like extradited to North Korea. It's a little closer in this particular circumstance. One of the bigger stories of the day, and I said at the start of the show, it is not only a slow news day, it's a slow news week, but it's a slow news month, really. But we push through here because we're that good at this. But this is a story that I've now seen more than once about surrogacy, right? Now, let me say right off the jump, in case you don't get the vibes here, I think surrogacy is generally fine. I think some celebrities take it too far where they're just basically doing rent-a-wombs for poor people. And they, like, you know, Paris Hilton's got people just churning out babies because she doesn't want to have one. I think sometimes that goes a little bit far and turns into more of a moral argument. But mostly I think it's just a great thing that people offer up these sorts of services. But there's been some weird situations that have come up. Here's one from ABC News. This says, California couple's surrogate gives birth in Texas after judge orders life-saving care. The details are, a California couple surrogate who went to Texas in an escalating dispute over treating a congenital heart condition gave birth on Wednesday, a day after a judge in Dallas ordered life-sustaining care for the newborn. The child was receiving stabilized care and scheduled to undergo surgery at the hospital, according to an attorney for McKenna West, the surrogate mother whose case has drawn widening national support from right-to-life groups and Republican officials. West was carrying the child for a California couple she has accused of wanting to end the pregnancy after the fetus was diagnosed with something called hypoplastic left heart syndrome.
Yeah, we talked about this woman when the case
couple?
first came up. I believe so.
Okay, because I thought that was a gay couple in that case. And this says Omar Ahmed.
Well, then,
I think this is a different one.
Okay.
Because that was a different one where there was this gay couple and they had a surrogate and they got some information back about the health of the child. And they said, we want you to get an abortion. And she's like, no, I don't want to do that. And then they ended up like in legal limbo. And Canada wanted to force her. I don't know if they did or not, but Canada wanted to force her to go through with the abortion, even though she didn't want to do this. And I think
the couple wanted the abortion.
The couple, and then the Canadian government was at least siding it in the very quick aftermath of it with the couple that wanted them to terminate the pregnancy. I happen to believe in cases like this, the surrogate mother should have the final decision on what happens in those cases. And they said she's taken on great personal risk to herself. The couple, Omar Ahmed and Nausheen Gilker, have denied in court filings that they intended to refuse surgery once the child was born. Lee Budner, an attorney for the couple, did not return any comments. And they said, our client's only focus at this time is ensuring their baby receives the medical care it vitally needs, blah, 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 blah. This is a syndrome that is when the left side of the heart prevents normal blood flow. If untreated, it causes severe symptoms such as breathing problems, weak pulse, and ashen or bluish skin. The kid has to have surgery. The surgeries are underway right now. But she's saying, the surrogate, that they wanted her to get an abortion, and she did not want to do that. Now, surrogacy is very different and very weird. The thing in those equations that is different is sometimes you're utilizing somebody else's egg and, sperm to make the baby. So it's somebody's property in your body that you're bringing to term. But in some of these cases, I would even go further. Like if it's an adoption case, if a woman gets pregnant and she's going to give her baby up for adoption and there's a hopeful couple waiting for the adoption, I would even go so far as to say when that child, which would be biologically her own, was born, if she felt the connection in that moment, I think the woman should be able to keep the newborn baby. I think if they make a connection even in that moment, they should be able to keep that. because this is just how I feel about these circumstances. It seems crazy to me. Like,
well, you think even in a normal situation, a normal surrogacy?
No, that's much more complicated because it's somebody else's biological offspring that you are bringing to term.
Mm-hmm.
So they could call it their property. I think if you are hiring a surrogate to have your baby and then there's a problem and you don't want them to have the baby anymore, you should sign away all your rights to that child and let the mother make the moral decision that they want to about the fate of that child. But I don't think in any cases the mother should be forced to have an abortion, even if it's a surrogate child. I don't think that they should be able to do that.
Okay, so this is not. I think this is not the same story we talked about, but
there's been two.
And it's also involving a Canadian surrogate mother.
Mm-hmm.
Unless the birth defect that we're talking about.
No, this woman. Maybe I confused it there. This woman is not Canadian.
She's from Alaska, right?
She's from Alaska, and she went down to Texas because of Texas's laws.
Yes. Canadian couple is suing the surrogate mother who carried their son 2 years after she refused their request to abort the fetus because of a cleft lip. That's the one we talked about.
That's what it was.
And possible genetic abnormalities. The Ontario-based surrogate insisted that more tests be conducted, and eventually the same-sex couple, you were right on that part, agreed to let the pregnancy continue, as specialists indicated he was a healthy child with a relatively minor birth defect.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you want to say, no, this is the outcome we want, and we want you to get an abortion, just sign away all the rights of the child and let the birth mother do something about it if they want to go a different direction. That just seems more right to me. But you guys let us know what you think. Send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com or email the show. When we come back, the hot sheet is on the way. C-Lane's loaded up and ready to go. Also, the most insane reason why there was gridlock level traffic in a city in the United States yesterday. Wait till you hear this. That's coming up as well. And it's all coming up next on the News Junkie.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Brought to you by MyEternalVitality.com and Modern Plumbing Industries. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James McGill and Ken.
Hello. Welcome behind the scenes of the show, everybody. So, the unfortunate news is I learned yesterday at some point in time there will be no Fritz on the street today. Our friend Don will be joining us. We're going to throw some things by him and mix it up a little bit. I honestly don't know what the future of Fritz on the street is. I don't know. We'll have to see what's going on. We shall see, everybody. We shall see. Rent-a-vag? Boy, that is a terrible way to phrase that. Is a cleft lip life-threatening? No. No, I don't think so. No, I wouldn't think so. I think there's pretty simple operations that can fix that. I miss Fritz on the street. You can't miss it yet. It's not even gone yet. You can't possibly miss it yet. It would be crazy if he got let go twice from Fritz on the street. It's not about that. Yeah, it's more complicated than that. It's certainly not about the company letting him go. Anyhow. No, it's not an iHeart thing. You can blame the suits for virtually everything else, but not necessarily this. Not necessarily this one. Don's great. Yeah, we're going to chat with Don at the top of the hour. I'm going to corner him with all abortion-related questions. What do you think about this? What do you think? Abortion, pit bulls, all the good drama. A severe cleft lip can be dangerous, but they made huge advancements with the surgery. I've seen before and after of infants born with a cleft palate, and then after, you would never, ever have guessed that they had anything wrong at all. You would never have guessed it. Just crazy. Crazy. An email coming in from Clay. Clay says, Sean, you said you're going to Key West. And I was down there for a wedding back in June. The couple that got married kind of reminds me of Sean and Courtney. I think you'd enjoy some of their recommendations for food, drinks, and stuff to do. This couple reminds you of me and Courtney. Let me go to their website. Ha! Let me see who you think is like me. All right. Jessica and Lee. Okay. They got a website for their wedding. All right, here it is. Do they have a photo of them on the website? Oh, there they are. Brother man, how... Nothing against these people. These people are great people, I'm sure. I'm saying, does this remind you guys of Courtney and me? Does that couple remind you guys of Courtney and me? I don't see it. I don't see it. Maybe you mean just their personality traits. He says, I can personally vouch for, and he gives me the link to all the other places they suggest. Hank's Hair of the Dog. Anybody vouch for that in Key West? Hank's Hair of the Dog has a Casey's Music Bar vibe with mostly outdoor patio. Moondog, you got to try the Frenchman Burger. And Kermit's, if you enjoy key lime pies being tart, T-A-R-T. Consider bringing portable minifans for your walks. I'm fine on that. Expect to pay $6+ an hour for parking on the curb. Renting bikes is a good idea. Have a good time. Clay, thank you for being so thoughtful and for sending that email. Thank you. I appreciate it. He probably meant the suggestions they made. He said, they remind me of you, so maybe you'll like the same things. But it doesn't have to be they physically resemble Courtney and I. It could be that, like, our personalities match up, therefore the things that we both like might match up, which would be a good lead. 2 minutes, and we're back live on the show. Irish Kevin's is the only place I go. Kermit's has great cream pie. Kermit's is overrated. Go to Blue Heaven. Blue Heaven's a good one. I do love key lime pie. Where are you guys at on the key lime pie front? Yes or no on key lime pie? Everybody likes it, right? Key lime pie with a little graham cracker crust on it? Oh, hell yeah. Is there an anti-key lime pie contingency? Oh, Avendasora, here she goes. She's don't want to do it. All right, we're coming back in just a moment. All right, here we go. Back live for the hot sheet. Then that mortgage guy done.
Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big. No retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
Some apps say they're free, then come the fees. Not the iHeart app. It's 100% free. No required subscriptions to access the best live radio stations, free playlists, podcasts, and more. Download the free iHeart app today.
iHeartRadio.
This portion of the News Junkie is brought to you by that mortgage guy, Don.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with that mortgage guy, Don.com.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Send him your tips and your deepest, darkest secrets. Email tips at the new.
We're going to hang out with our friend Don. The always interesting Dom. We'll see what's going on in his world and field any questions you may have for him as well. It's coming up in just a bit. Don't forget, your feedback is, believe it or not, important to us on the show. So that means we've got the emails that you're sending over at tips@thenewsjunkie.com. We got dispatches lined up and ready to go. We're prepared for you here as the show rolls into its second half in just a bit, very, very soon. Lots of good stuff to get into in the second half of the show. But right now, let's do the hot sheet.
Check the hot sheet. It's news, but not like real important news.
Best investigator reporting on the planet.
The top stories from the people on your screens and speakers are on the hot sheet with C-Lane.
Oh, almost messed that up right there. Yeah. The hot sheet is the top 5 stories in the nonsense news brought to you by that mortgage guy, Don. And we start in San Diego because Comic-Con wrapped up a couple weeks ago. And, of course, big event. A lot of people travel in for it. A lot of money spent. It is a very lucrative time for the city of San Diego. I almost said lucrative.
It's a very lucrative time.
A lucrative time. And not just like the hotels, taxes, and, all of the money being funneled into the local economy, but San Diego makes a lot of money just fining people left and right. During Comic-Con, and big ones this year because Marvel Studios has been fined $160,000 for covering up this big arch that's in the Gaslamp Quarter, the downtown Gaslamp Quarter archway. And if you look this up, Sean, search for Marvel Fine, you'll see this advertising that they put up for one of their big movies. It's the one
they knew they weren't allowed to cover this thing, but they just did it anyway.
It sort of. This
is a whole to do for this arch that I'm looking at here.
Yeah, it was a promotion for Avengers Doomsday, and they said, hey, and the thing that gets me here is they said that they fined them $160,000 for covering the Gaslamp arch for safety concerns, and it was like, hey, if you're really concerned about people's safety, why don't you just order them to take it down rather than fining them? It seems like you probably trust the people who installed this to do their due diligence, and you don't think it's as much of a safety issue as it is a cash grab.
Yep. It feels to me like it's a way for them to charge for it without charging for it.
Right. City officials said they were informed by Eleview Outdoor more than a week before the installation about their plans, yet San Diego code enforcement officials told them not to proceed because of concerns about safety and fears it could disrupt the flow of people during the year's biggest event.
Oh, there's people everywhere. This is a very, very popular thing, this Comic-Con, for God's sake.
And they said this could be disrupting the flow. The contractor went ahead with it anyway, which is bold because it's like, isn't that not your property? The contractor knowingly created a safety risk and refused to address it.
It's pretty cool looking, by the way. It's got the Avengers logo. It says 12/18/2026 is Doomsday.
And this is the Avengers that has Doctor Doom in it, so that's why it's got that kind of green theme to it, because that's like Doctor Doom's colors. They said they knowingly created a safety risk and refused to address it and was cited and fined accordingly. And I just disagree, because if it's such a safety risk, the way to address it is to force them to take it down. Have a judge sign something and order them to remove it if it's such a big safety risk, but I don't think it is. The city of San Diego has waged a long-running battle against outdoor advertising since the 1970s, so this goes way back, which is why there are no billboards near the convention center. Advertisers have instead wrapped hotels and other buildings during Comic-Con, and they all get fined for that. Almost as if to advertise at Comic-Con, you have to have a line item in your budget just to pay fines.
And to be fair, somebody's made a comment on here. It says, this event generates $160 million for the local economy, and this is the thanks they get. That is true. These kind of events do make people spend a lot of money in your city, and if it were the Super Bowl or something, boy, it would be like a whole different view on this, I guess.
City inspectors can fine hotels and businesses up to $10,000 a day, but such high sanctions are rare. It's more common for the city to give out warnings or $1,000 a day citation. And that's just for showing advertising on these hotels. That's just for wrapping them in advertising that they don't want. But to pretend that they gave them a $160,000 bill and calling it a safety issue is borderline flat out lying, because if it was a safety issue and if you were really worried about the safety of the visitors and citizens of San Diego, you would have it taken down, not just send them a fine. It sounds stupid.
Agreed, yeah.
And there's my rant for the hot sheet. But speaking of Marvel, now that all these movies, these Marvel movies, are making billions of dollars, it used to be that comic book movies were kind of the laughingstock of Hollywood, and now actors are actively campaigning to be included in them. Like, they'll go to interviews, press junkets, red carpet chats, and borderline beg to be in these Marvel movies, and there's a bunch of them doing it for the next installment. For example, Keke Palmer has been lobbying to play Rogue. Cynthia Erivo has called Storm a dream role. Taron Egerton has repeatedly expressed interest in inheriting Wolverine's claws from Hugh Jackman, and Dacre Montgomery has floated himself for Cyclops.
Have you floated yourself for any of these positions?
I probably should float myself.
Yeah.
I would like to play. Who's the guy that sits down all the time?
Professor X?
I would like to be Professor X. I'm floating myself.
Can you guys imagine a bald sea lane kind of rolling around in a wheelchair?
I'll shave my head for it. It'll be a good time.
Like, he's one of the most powerful people in the whole Marvel world, too, so that's cool.
And now that all of these actors, actresses have sort of thrown their name in, even Indy Navarrete of Obsession fame confirmed she met with X-Men director Jake Schreier after revealing Mystique is the mutant she'd most like to play, although rumors have also linked her to Rogue. But if you think you know which one's going to be which, you can now go on Kalshi and bet on it, because they have Kalshi campaigns, or Kalshi, I forget what they call them because they're not bets. Per se.
Markets.
They have Kalshi
something.
markets to see, and they say Jacob Elordi's chances have climbed from 24% in late July to 96%, while Sadie Sink, already cast as Jean Grey, sits at 98% because she's already been cashed. Hugh Jackman is still pulling 43% despite publicly retiring from the role of Wolverine. There's still about a 43% chance, according to Kalshi bettors, that he might, kind of 180 on that announcement.
Somebody says maybe the Blob for you guys. How dare you? How dare you? All right. First
is
of all,
that a character? Is the Blob a character?
I don't know, but I'm imagining that it's like a gross one, and that's why they're saying that would be good for us.
Not nice. Update on the Miss North Carolina story. You remember a week or two ago us talking about Brittany Boltonhouse, who had to give up her crown because they found some racial slurs in her Twitter past.
Mm-hmm.
And now she said she's not at all sorry for her past use of the N-word. In a new interview with Daily Mail, the scandalized pageant queen was asked if she thought she should apologize for using the slur, but she doubled down, saying no, not at all. She feels she was unfairly targeted, saying, "It's a constitutional right. It's your First Amendment right to express yourself, and I feel like I was ripped off of that as a proud American."
Yeah, I think people now have gotten to this point where you go, if I apologize, it doesn't really give me anything extra. Nothing, nobody seems to care, so I'm just not apologizing. And now we're in the post-apology world, which sometimes you should apologize.
Yeah, you should definitely apologize. Also, apparently, whatever question they asked her at the end of the pageant was not about social studies, because she's claiming her First Amendment rights in a procedure that does not involve the government.
Did they ask her what her favorite word that starts with an N was?
No, she didn't.
Okay.
She thinks she's being targeted because of her political and religious stance, and her rights were violated. Her lawyer says she's been defamed. She's been called a racist, a homophobe, a transphobe. And he says, his words, those are false slanders and slurs. My friend, slurs is what your client was using.
And I want you to apologize for that.
My gosh. Some members of BTS would like you to stop following them to the gym. They said they'll go to 2 a.m. gym run, and there's people just surrounding them. They said it's okay if you're working out, but please stop staring at us or trying to talk to us. And Netflix has pretty much set in stone that I will not be watching the latest revival of the Ghostbusters, because it is what, Sean?
It is woke.
What don't I watch?
Spanish
animated. It is animated. The real Ghostbusters was a cartoon that they did back in the 80s, and it was hugely successful. So Netflix, coming off this whole afterlife era that wasn't so well received, is going up. We're going to do this animated thing instead. It's Thursday. Let's take a look at what's coming up on the box office. Not a lot of great stuff. Like not a lot of things that people are talking about to go up against the heavy hitters right now. But fans of musicals will enjoy Six, the musical live, which I saw Six actually at a theater. Pretty good. Parents will love Paw Patrol, the Dino movie. Woo! That one's coming out into theaters soon. Kristen Stewart leads The Wrong Girls, a comedy crime drama that also reunites Alea Shawkat with Tony Hale of Arrested Development fame, and another comedy horror called, I just like the name, Namaste, with a bunch of names I'd never heard of, but that's also being released. That one drops today, actually. Hey, if you already have a quote for a mortgage and you haven't shopped it around at all, you're just ready to sign the papers, stop immediately and head on over to thatmortgageguyDon.com. Take a picture of that quote. It's so easy. You can do it on your phone, and Don will reach out to you and let you know if you're leaving money on the table. And a lot of people have said, hey, I reached out to Don and I was leaving money on the table, and now I'm paying less. You can go through that process today at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Don't miss the boat, compare your quote with thatmortgageguyDon.com.
By the way, big thanks to DJ Rage for the 10 gifted subscriptions. Premium subscriptions bringing us up to 11 for the day. Goal is always 25. And you can join in. Just subscribe to support the show over at thenewsjunkie.com. We're going to hang out with our friend Don. He'll be joining us in just a moment. I'm going to talk about these crime weirdos. Wait till you hear this story. This one has my head spinning, and it's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Got a question after an accident? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando.
Y'all, let's hear it for DJ Rage. DJ Rage. Thank you for the big support. Do not forget, tonight at 8 p.m. in this very studio, fully uncensored, you will watch secret shows if you're a subscriber tonight at 8 p.m. All right? Folks, we are one subscriber away from 32,000. We actually went over 32,000 and went under 32,000. One subscriber away. Could be you. If you are enjoying the stream, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. It's totally free, everybody. Okay? Does Sean show cleavage on secret shows? Yes. Sometimes a little bit. We'll sneak a little bit in. Thanks to DJ Rage for stepping up, baby. Love it. I'm going to open the phone lines if anybody has any questions, by the way. Maybe you're like thinking about getting a new house. You got questions about the mortgage stuff. There's no reason to not let you have some access to that mortgage guy, Don. So there we go. Phone lines are open. We'll leave them open maybe for the rest of the show. You can call 888-443-NEWS. 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 We're at 11 out of 25 on the goal today. I won't be able to make it. Sorry, teaching my kid editing. You're already teaching your kids how to edit videos? That's amazing. That is amazing. That is amazing. All right, a couple of minutes and we're back live. And I got to talk about this thing that caused all this traffic in D.C., which is crazy. Just crazy. Running Samurai, thank you for 15 months. Thank you for the support, Running Samurai. Make this the beginning of your first month over at thenewsjunkie.com. Let's give you an exclusive story. Skull Mike exclusive for you. We could do this maybe. Oh, here we go. Here, this will stir up something in you. I got two for you. One political, one not. Newest data in. New York City Mayor Zoran Mamdani. Let's say you had to score him 1 out of 100 on his performance so far. Favorability rating for Mayor Zoran Mamdani in New York City, 69% favorable. 69% favorable. That's pretty good for the mayor of New York. Now, here's my theory on this. We'll see if you agree. My theory is with favorability things, I think half the time, people don't even really know what's going on. I'm not even sure if they're like engaging with the day-to-day. I think so much of it is about personality and presentation. Two things that Mamdani is actually quite good at. Personality and presentation. I believe 69% of New Yorkers see him out there like filling in potholes, doing all the videos, showing how he's going to change this or that. And I think it's personality and presentation. And they think things seem to be going well. So 69% of them say that he's doing a good job. 69 is favorable? Well, he's 69% on his favorability rating. Who was polled, said Kathy? New Yorkers. That's his highest favorability rating yet. But he would be sort of in the honeymoon period, you might say, of his mayorship. What happens when these grocery stores inevitably fail? You know, what happens when some of the crime policies may backfire? Another story about a 102-year-old man who has died after being pushed off a stage at a bar. The 102-year-old man went onto the stage while the performance was going on, asking if they could turn it down. They pushed him off the stage. He was taken to a hospital in critical condition and died after the band shoved him off of this stage at Crow's Nest Pub, where this occurred. Yikes. Bro, you imagine a 102-year-old man like crawling up onto the stage when your favorite band is playing and they just shove his ass off? That's crazy. That is an absolutely wild move. What's the correct punishment for that, everybody? You let us know. All right, we'll come back with our friend Don.
Visit TrajanWealth.com.
Your direct line to the heroes that saved Canada that one time.
Day like today, I still got so much on the horizon that we're going to be talking about here. From a kid that caught a piranha to an update on the flock cameras and all of that good stuff. But first, let's welcome our friend, that mortgage guy, Don.
All right.
Hey. There he is. Don, how you doing? How's everything going, man?
I just couldn't be any better, Sean. I'm happy to be here. Everything's going fantastic.
Good. I had a couple of things I wanted to work in while we hang out with you here. Do you play the lottery ever, by chance, just out of curiosity?
Super rarely. You know, I play every once in a while when it gets up to like $1 billion for the big guy, then I'll do that. But other than that, not really.
I love how that's the spot that we're at, because I do the same thing now.
Yeah.
Is it $1 billion? No, it's not $1 billion. Get out of here. What am I going to do with $500 million? I'm like, but they just had it hit for $1.04 billion was the total for one player, I believe, in Illinois. Somebody out in Illinois ended up winning that. Not C-Lane, unfortunately for him. No, not.
Did you play?
Not him.
Did you play C-Lane?
I played on Monday and then forgot yesterday because I had just an incredibly long day yesterday. Full of very adulty, homeownery kind of things, calling electricians, and thank God for the folks at Mills Air that really helped me out. But I didn't do it, and then my wife was like, "Did you get a Powerball ticket?" And I said, "No. Do you want me to go out?" She goes, "Well, I guess you just don't want us to be rich."
Yeah.
All right.
You're rooting for poverty. What are you doing over here?
I'm not rooting for poverty.
You got to manifest it, man. You got to manifest that lotto win.
I manifest every time.
And buy a ticket, which I didn't do.
No. It just sometimes you just don't feel like you're going to get it. You don't feel like you got a winning opportunity on your hands. But somebody in Illinois felt like they did, and they ended up winning over $1 billion. Which is must be real good, good to feel that way.
Do they have state taxes in Illinois?
I don't know. That's a good question. I'm not sure where they're at on that.
With $1 billion, who cares?
Yeah, you're like, oh
True.
no, do I only get $500 million? Like, still be a whole thing to get rid of that. Hey, big thanks, by the way, to Cyclonus for the 23 gifted premium subscriptions. My God, you generous people. Look at you. You're dragging us along on a day like this. We appreciate it. I saw a story that I wanted to work in here because I was talking about this a little bit. Hold on. There might be a news report with this, but there was a huge traffic jam in Washington, D.C., and people were freaking out, and they shut down everything. And they started investigating this suspicious device, and I'll get into what ended up happening here before. But we've all kind of been in this before, where you're in your car, you're sitting there trying to get somewhere, and it's just grinded to a halt, full on gridlock. Everybody always compares it to what's the music video where they're all stuck in traffic?
Everybody Hurts.
Is that it? Everybody Hurts. Yeah, like Everybody Hurts level traffic, and nobody's moving anywhere. You start looking down at your dashboard and how much gas you have, and you're like, oh, God. And I don't know if you're like me, but I can wait pretty low on that, so I'm panicking that I'm going to. But the reasoning why this whole shutdown took place is pretty hilarious. I wonder if they'll even have the courage to mention it in this news report. Let's see. Here we go.
We have an update on the suspicious device that snarled rush hour traffic in Tenleytown this morning. Police now tell us it was actually a sex toy. This happened at the fire station on Wisconsin Avenue near Warren Street around 7 o'clock this morning. Officers cleared the scene.
I didn't think she was going to say that. I thought she might shy away from that. It was a sex toy that shut down all the traffic in Washington, D.C.
I thought she would shy away from it mainly because the headline on the story said adult device.
Yeah.
But...
yeah. This is the guy carrying it here.
Wait, that's what it is?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
What is that, C-Lane?
It looks like a large camera lens. I have a guess.
Yeah.
I have a hypothesis.
He knows what it is, Don. He just doesn't want to say it.
It's like a big flashlight.
you could say.
With a typo?
Don, you might be right. It does indeed look shockingly like a flashlight.
Yes.
Yeah. My favorite part is that I don't know if this guy's cops or from the like fire department or whatever.
This guy's got a goofy look on his face.
That's the explosive ordnance guy.
Yeah, and he's like, all right, yeah, you're right. This is the guy from the bomb squad, probably. Right. And he goes and they go, we need you to pick this up. And this brings me back to the
100% Lorena Bobbitt case.
The Lorena Bobbitt case? Yeah. Did you ever see that documentary about that, Don?
A long time ago, yeah.
Oh, my God. The police officer who they were told that John Wayne Bobbitt's member had been separated from his body, and then they were like on the lookout for it. I don't know how, but somehow they found it, and it was on the grassy knoll. And they find it, and they go, here it is. And then the one cop refused to pick it up because he thought it was gay.
It was like thrown out the window or something like that.
She tossed it out the window, and the cop refused to pick it up. This guy is straight up holding the fleshlight. He found it. All I can think of is, could you imagine if you were driving along in your car and you had purchased a fleshlight and you're like, this is embarrassing. I don't have that. Just throw it out the window. And you throw it out the window and you see traffic is grinded to a gridlock in downtown Washington, D.C. The bomb squad is currently investigating to see and you realize, oh no. Was that for me? Oh, God.
Did I leave that on the roof of my car again?
That could have been it, too. Like a coffee cup, you just put it like on the roof, and somebody's, no, hold on. Oh, God. And it just drops out. But
that thing is girthy. It looks like you could fit a coffee cup in there.
I don't know, Sealand. I've never operated one of these, so
neither have I. The funny part about the story about the cop in the Lorena Bobbitt case, is that was such a famous case that I knew it happened, and I was 6 years old when that happened. Wow. When she attacked him and she cut it off, everybody knew about it. We sang songs about it in elementary school.
Sing it for us now.
Let's see how well it's aged, right?
In the bedroom, the mighty bedroom, John Bobbitt sleeps tonight. And in the kitchen. It's a wiener whack, actually, was how we did it. But I didn't know the part about the cop and the picking up. I don't know how widely known that was. And I was like, maybe enough. Maybe they didn't tell enough people that, but it was, once you found out, the most hilarious part of the whole ordeal, aside from him doing porn later. But it just, it was a thing.
This guy just grabbed it, and then I don't know where they put it. I don't know what they do with it
evidence
afterwards.
Locker? They have a special shelf in the evidence locker?
Probably do. When they go in there, they show, they're like, here's all the heroin. Here you go. And then here's all the sex toys that we have taken from traffic jams in Washington, D.C. We were talking earlier, Dom, about a couple of things. And by the way, that mortgage guy, Don, is a genius and a whiz and can help you out with a lot of things. Usually he doesn't talk about this particular topic, but I want to tell you, if you're about to buy a house, or if you're in the market, or if you're thinking about like refinancing, or if you want to know about like freeing up some money in the house that you already have, or you have any questions, we'll open up the phone lines right now. If you want to call, if you have any questions for Don, it's 1-888-443-NEWS, 1-888-443-NEWS. Now might be a great time. Now, of course, you could call during his show every single week, and you can. That's the VIP. That's the spot to really get the best information. But if you want to ask right now, while we're blabbing with Don hanging out today, 1-888-443-NEWS is the number with any questions you might have for that mortgage guy, Don. But we were talking about there's two types of people, and we categorize them as the never going to give it up people, who are very hesitant to give out their details, their information. They're afraid that the companies have too much info on them. And then there's the I give up people who are just like, they have all the information already. What are we possibly going to do about this? We're screwed. And those people are like the I give up folks. And this all came in because we were talking about how, what was it, McDonald's that had, how big was the...
It was like somebody requested their personal information from McDonald's, like what they've kept on them based on the app and the rewards program and all that. And they called it a 515-page dossier.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I still think, I mean, do you need that many pages? Was there data on every page? Did they leave a couple blank? But I have requested my data, so I am very excited. Yes, I did.
Okay, all right. So, which of those categories are you in? I mean, you are a guy who knows a lot about like finances and this sorts of stuff. Are you sensitive to giving out your information? Are you in the never gonna give it up category, or the like I give up? Here's all my personal information.
I mean, I try as hard as I can, but I'm in the business of doing mortgages, and I have to get that information from people. You know, when they're trying to borrow $400,000 or $500,000, you got to provide a little info to get that. And so I kind of have to be in the camp of you just got to give it up if you want the mortgage, basically.
Do you have people that like they'll be you'll be helping them get a mortgage and they aren't really like privy to how everything works and the fact that you need that information and you ask for their social, they're like, no.
I've had people send me in like pay stubs or bank statements and they'll redact things on there with a Sharpie, like they went to ABC, they went to ABC Liquor, so they'll cross that out, on the bank statement or what have you. We don't look at that kind of stuff anyway. We just look at the balance. But you can't redact anything on a government mortgage document. It's all got to be. You can't send in your pay stub and have the numbers blacked out. It just doesn't work.
Real quick, let's work in one of these calls that we're getting here. 1-888-443-NEWS is the number. Go ahead. You're on with That Mortgage Guy. Don, do you have a question for him?
Yes, I do. On reverse mortgages, I'm 10 years older than my husband. We're both on the mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
Is the percentage-wise that we get back based on my age or my husband's age?
Well, at least one of you has to be over 62, and the younger person can be as young as 55, but they're going to go by the age of the younger person on the reverse mortgage loan.
You hear him?
That doesn't help.
Yeah. Wait, what more clarification do you need? Hold on.
I didn't say it wasn't going to be the answer you wanted, but that is the answer. Yeah, if you're
Don,
both,
I'm going to have to call you personally.
yeah, give me a call.
Yeah, do it, John. Give her the number while we're here.
Just go to the website, thatmortgageguyDon.com, and the numbers are right there. That way you don't have to write it down.
Okay, there she goes.
That
doesn't help me at all.
Welcome to my world, Sean.
Yeah. I think what she meant was this isn't the answer I was hoping for.
Yes.
This is why you need experts, all right? We'll leave it open for you. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more of Don. And if you have any questions for him, now's the time to squeeze it through. 888-443-NEWS, 888-443-NEWS. You'll get screened and in line. And we'll talk to you in just a bit. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
I mean, Ferrari was always my first.
Hello. That doesn't help me at all. Oh, that's funny. All right, if you have a question for Don, now's the time to do it. Maybe you want to know about HELOCs, right? Like if you want to get a big sum of money based on the equity in your home equity line of credit. Even I know it. But if you have any questions about that stuff, hit us up right now. You can see the link on the app, the number on the website, thenewsjunkie.com. It's all right there. Click it and call in. That was worth having the call feature. Nice, Watson. Yeah, that was funny. Back with more in just a moment. Folks, if you've liked anything that you've heard today on the show, as always, I'm going to ask that perhaps you hit that like button on the stream right now. If you can't do it for me, do it for our cameraman, Chompy. He feeds off of and subsists solely off of your likes from the stream. So feed Chompy with a like right now over on youtube.com/thenewsjunkie, folks. I wonder. Well, it's going to come up here soon. We'll take a look when it comes up. But I want to see if it shows the amount of subscribers on YouTube. Kathy says, did I miss the reason for no Fritz? Yeah, he wasn't able to make it in today. She could take him off the mortgage? That might cause some drama in the relationship. Couple of minutes and we're back live. All right, I'll give you another Sko Mike exclusive. Lily Wachowski. Wait, hold on. That's one of the Wachowski brothers, right? The Wachowski brothers were behind the Matrix movie, the Matrix director, and now are they both trans or just one of them? The Wachowski brothers? Just one of them, I think, is? I don't know. But it says filmmaker Lily Wachowski is working to get the next project, The Hunted, out of late-stage production. But says the creator of The Matrix says nobody in Hollywood wants to finance the thriller, which is budgeted at around $10 million because everybody in it is transgender. The entire GD cast is transgender. And they said nobody wants to fund it. People like it, but they really don't want to make it because it's got a wall-to-wall trans cast. I have to get creative and figure out different ways I can get this in front of people. This is a script that was extremely important for me to write. Well, if this is a project that is very important for you to write and you need to cast all transgender people in the roles, I would encourage you to fund it yourself. Wachowski person. I would encourage you to fund it yourself. And then you might realize that the movie theaters worry that movie sounds like it's not properly targeting a demographic big enough to make any money. Fund it yourself. Do a bit of a megalopolis situation. Look at that. Beware with 3 gifted subs. I thought we were screwed. We only had 2. We're up to 42 now. The support is pouring in. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciated. Wow, that is awesome. That's a good feeling on a day like today. Thank you, Beware. I'll go over all the people who have gifted subscriptions or subscribed. We'll go over all of them at the end of the show. I'm going to start doing that each day. Is it better not to marry my girlfriend and let her do a first-time homeowner and sign a contract for half homeownership? Interesting. I don't know. Why don't you call? Give us a call. That's a good question, actually. I'm not even blowing smoke up your ass. That's actually a legitimately good question. They prefer to be called the Wachowskis now? Well, but are they both trans? Like, that seems like something that should be studied. If there are twins that were born and both of them are transgender, which is like 0.03% of the population that would have a gender dysphoria issue, and twins, both that they don't both have it. I think it's one of them, right? I believe. 90 seconds and we're back live on the show. 90 seconds. They're both women. I think the odds of that happening, of having 2 children that are twins with gender dysphoria, would have to be more shocking than the odds of winning the Powerball. Maybe like more shocking than the odds of winning the Powerball twice in a row. That's crazy. Why is it a group that is less than 1% makes such a fuss in our society? Because of the media and because of people who want to signal through their stories. I say, you got a story, you want to make it into a movie, it sounds like you're not really targeting a general audience here, but if you believe in it, fund that shit yourself. You're behind The Matrix. Like, The Matrix is legendary, right? You probably got a pretty big base of fans to pull from. Fund that movie yourself, and let's see if it works. Let's see if people want to watch that. But don't think that companies should just give you money to make the thing. They don't think people are going to watch it. I don't think people are going to watch it. So fund it yourself. If you can prove them wrong, then you'll be something right there. We're coming back right now. More of Dawn. Give us a call, 1-888-443-NEWS. 1-888-443-NEWS.
Real Radio 104.1 and the city of Mount Dora. Don't miss it.
Pull up a chair to At the Table, the food allergy podcast. Each episode, we'll explore how food allergies shape the way we travel, date, celebrate, and connect. Because living with food allergies isn't just about what you can't eat. It's about still having your seat at the table. Brought to you by Genentech and Novartis. Listen to At the Table, the food allergy podcast on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow At the Table and start listening on the free iHeart Radio app today.
Win $25,000 in free impact windows from Maurice Windows. Text TRUST to 20129.
Radio.
Occupying the space between high society and prison tattoos. This is the News Junk.
Online world, I'll tell you what's going on in just a moment here. We have so many more stories to work in. We still got about 90 minutes left in the show. So thanks for hanging out with us. Learn more over at thenewsjunkie.com. We got our friend Don hanging out with us here on the show. And Don, have you ever heard of the extension called Honey for web browsers? Have you heard of that before or no?
No, sir. Tell me.
Sealand, you've heard of this, right, Sealand?
Yeah, I have it.
Yeah. No, you do?
Yeah, it's the one where if you're buying something, so I need to delete it like right now.
Well, I don't know if you would want to or not, but I would it'll make the story more interesting for you for sure.
So, Don, basically it's like if you're looking up something on Amazon or there's a handful of other online retailers that Honey works with, it will do like a little pop-up when it sees that you're shopping for something, and it will tell you like a short history of the price of that item and go like, hey, this is a really good time to buy it right now. Or, hey, this thing just shot up in price. Maybe wait a little bit.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Don't they also give you promo codes and stuff for websites? Isn't that another?
That was the main thing. It would try to like search through a database of promo codes if it saw that there was like a promo code box that you could fill in, and try to get you at least like a good 15-20% off. I've actually had when it was newer, a lot more success with it than lately. But it would literally like stop you in your tracks almost and try rapid fire a bunch of different promo codes to see which ones of them worked.
Wow. And save your money, yeah. So, but here's the scandal. It says PayPal owned, because PayPal bought Honey, this browser extension. PayPal-owned Honey extension loses millions of users amid growing controversy. So people are deleting this thing like crazy. According to reports, the coupon, depends on how you say it, finding browser extension has lost millions of users as accusations of affiliate misconduct continue to draw attention. The company was bought by PayPal in 2020 for $4 billion with a B.
Wow.
And they lost over 7 million users in this whole controversy that's been going on. It says, in a major development, U.S. District Judge Beth Labson Freeman allowed the second amended complaint to proceed for content creators in a major blow to PayPal.
The complaint came with guns?
No, that's not the second amendment. The second amended complaint. The recent matter
I would have taken the complaint a lot more seriously if it came with guns.
The recent matter gets far worse for Honey, aggravating the legal issues and millions of users uninstalling the extension. Its collection of coupon codes has weakened from 90,000 to 50,000, with 10,000 of the remaining codes being expired. So I guess there was a bunch of people who said that they got ripped off, and creators are suing this company, and it looks like they may be successful in court, but people are just like deactivating or deleting, I guess. I don't know, the extension.
Who's the people getting ripped off? Like if you install an extension that's supposed to try out promo codes and none of the promo codes work, you haven't lost any money, correct?
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
I don't see what the grift is.
It says there's a bunch of videos that have come out about them stealing money from influencers. And the new one that was just released has encouraged more people to deactivate the plugin. The first video shines a light on Honey's use of last-click attribution, swapping his tracking cookie. That's just a bunch of technical stuff. They thought they were ripping off people who were doing commercials for them, essentially. And now
affiliates.
Now like the affiliate people weren't getting paid because they were getting like clever with trying to hide that money from them. So whatever it's done is led to a lot of people saying that we're not using this anymore, which that used to be very, very big. I don't know if it still is. You guys can let us know if you still utilize that. Or if you have any questions for our friend Don, you can call him up, 888-443-6397. Now, I saw somebody in Don, this kind of gets into like the darker side of mortgage deals.
The dark side, all right.
Somebody said they're married and they were, they already had a home, but they wanted to see, like, could they get their wife to buy a house not connected to them so they could get the first-time home buyer deal? And like they're trying to find like a workaround. Like if you're married, but you've already utilized the first-time homeowner deal, how does that, because they didn't want to seem shady and jump on the line. They just posted it in chat. How does that work?
They're trying to get the honey code for getting extra stuff.
True.
No, the test is pretty simple on that. It's pretty hard to avoid. If you've had your name on the deed to a home anytime in the last 3 years, then you're not a first-time home buyer. If you could have had 12 homes, but if you haven't been on a deed in the last 3 years, then you are a first-time home buyer again. So it's a chronological cutoff.
What if and I'm about 2 years late to this question. What if your wife was on the deed of the previous house and you weren't, but now you're buying a house together? Does the non-first-time home buyer cancel out the first-time home buyer?
It depends. Some of the programs will say at least one person buying the new house has to be a first-time home buyer, and others will say both people have to be first-time home buyers. So it really just depends on the program when you drill down to
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
What is the discount you get? Like, is it a big advantage to have that?
It is. I mean, I guess it depends on your point of view. Like, like the one that is one of the bigger ones right now is the State of Florida program, the Hometown Heroes program, and it gives you up to 5% of the purchase price towards your down payment and closing costs. So on a $400K loan, that's $20,000. So it's a substantial amount of money that you can get, and you can use that for your down payment and or your closing costs. So it has a big benefit if you qualify for it.
Oh man, I just thought of this. I've been wanting to ask somebody this forever, and I just realized Don is like a guy who would definitely have the information here probably. When we all look, like let's say when people do become a homeowner or start thinking about being a homeowner, and you start utilizing all the tools online and stuff. When you look up your house on Zillow or Redfin or those other services, and you see what they're estimating your house will sell for or what it's worth, those things, are those legit, or is one better than the other? Like, are those usually fairly accurate, or are you getting an idea of what you think your home is worth and then you try to sell it for that and it's like, nope?
Yeah, they'll give you a number that's whatever Zillow calls it their Zestimate, like an exact number that's 402,000. But below that, they'll usually give a range that says 380 to 420. That range is usually pretty solid. In my experience. What they don't see, it's completely digital, so it only sees the numbers. It sees the square footage, it sees the number of bedrooms, it sees those kind of things. It doesn't take into effect if you have a water view or a golf course view or things that the computer can't tell just from crunching numbers. So like if you have a pool, your number's usually going to be $25,000 higher than what you see on those type of websites because it just doesn't factor that in. And you can go and look at the comps that it's showing you and see which ones have pools, and it'll give you a better idea. But it gets you in the ballpark.
I had always thought that somebody had definitely told me this before. They're like, a pool doesn't add value to your home because some people want it, some people don't want it, and it's just like kind of whether you want it or not. But you're saying like it actually does add value?
Yeah, pool homes 100% sell for more, but you're not going to get the same value. Like if you go and put an $80,000 pool in your yard, you're not going to be able to then sell your house for $80,000 more. It's just going to be, the comparables will be based on what other pool homes are selling for. So
the reason I ask is because pools are crazy expensive these
They've
days.
gotten really crazy. Like I swear, like in 2018, we were seeing people put in pools. Like we do a lot of HELOCs and equity lines for people that want to do this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we were seeing people taking out pool loans, 30, 40, 50,000. Now the ones I'm seeing are 80 plus. It's crazy how much they've gone up.
Just getting mine resurfaced was a big, like a big bill, and then once they took all the current surface down, and then they sent me a video of this guy walking around my empty pool, tapping on the wall, showing me all the spots where there was like water, and they're like, that's going to cost you like $1,700 more because we need to take it down even further. I had asked about putting in a sun shelf, and the number was like totally not worth it. And I was
Really?
like, that's amazing, because I felt
like
like
10 grand, 20 grand.
I felt 10, I think 7 to 10. And I was like, I felt like my dad put in a pool recently, and he barely wanted one, and the price was right at the time, and now it's ridiculous. It's the materials, I think, is what's driving it up.
We have a pool guy in chat on TNJ chat right now who says pools are money pits. So hey, last question for you, Don.
That sounds like a pool owner.
I realize I could utilize this platform to get actual answers of things that I've been considering for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say somebody says, we've got some stuff that's pretty urgent for us to do around the house. We want some improvements, upgrades. I don't know. Let's say it's a pool, whatever it is. Somebody's been thinking about doing that for a very, very long time, and they've been looking into a HELOC.
Mm-hmm.
What is the timeline on that? Like, could you get something like that done real quick and get the money quick and get something done if there's a pressing timeline, or does a HELOC always take X amount of time?
The typical time is about 3 weeks from the time we get, it's the application and your documents to the time we're closing and you're getting your funds.
That's not bad.
It could be shorter. I'd say about half of the home equity lines or HELOCs or HELoans that we do, we don't need an appraisal. We get an appraisal waiver from the bank that is doing it, meaning they just look at the address, they do their own research, however they do it, and they say, we don't need an appraisal. Well, that shaves about 7 to 10 days off the process. So we can get it done in a couple of weeks if we don't need an appraisal, and about 3 weeks typically if we do.
That's crazy. Yeah. That's actually that's faster than I thought.
That's not
Bootsy
the
just said,
norm.
by the way,
Yeah, that's
Bootsy
not
said, I know I'm an adult because I love this segment. Like, I'm literally, I'm like, this is useful information right now.
I will say that's not the norm in our industry, Sean. My company is awesome. We get them done in 2 or 3 weeks. Not everybody does. I hear horror stories all the time. There are people who are 60 days in and calling me and saying, why is this taking so long? Why are other people taking so long?
These are the kind of things you got to ask. So if you've been thinking about doing that kind of stuff, get some of the equity in your house, put it to good use. You heard Don. He's the guy who knows how this works. Go to thatmortgageguyDon.com, thatmortgageguyDon.com. Don, thanks for hanging out with us, man.
Thanks for letting me hang out. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys at the big poker tournament on Saturday.
I forgot this guy. He's going to beat both of us pretty handily, I think. Did you win last year, or you came close, right?
No, I've been at the final table every year, but I haven't actually won the trophy since 2019.
Damn it, man!
That was a multiple year victory for you because we didn't have one in 2020.
Or we didn't have one for 2 years, so I actually held the belt for 3 years. If we're getting technical,
Might be that's a pretty long belt.
ThatmortgageguyDon.com, thatmortgageguyDon.com. Give them a call and just explore these ideas, because you could really, really do some improvements and utilize some of the funds and the money you got tied up in your house right now. So, Don, we'll see you next week. Thank you, man.
Thanks, guys. See you next time.
All right, there he is. You can email if you have any questions, and find them over there on the website when we come back. Couple really spicy emails coming in. I'm excited to get to this. I've got some courtroom footage that we have to get into and some crime weirdos that I wanted to talk about. And that's just getting started here. We got a lot to plug in to the last hour and 18 minutes or so of the show. So stand by. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
At Real Radio, we don't do robots. We're guaranteed human. Use the TalkBack feature on the free iHeartRadio app and prove you are too.
For real? That was like super useful information. That was like incredibly usable and useful information. I think that mortgage guy Don knows what he's talking about. Honestly, this is one of the early times where I'm like, I haven't really asked him any questions about this stuff. And the moment I started to think about it, I was like, oh, I do have some things I'm curious about. Will home loans be a repeat? Oh, I don't. I think they do that earlier. You mean for the poker tournament? I think that is something that they do earlier. Folks, jury duty is next. That was a good time, though. The Flock CEO has said, we made a mistake. I'll tell you what's going on with that and give you an update on the Flock camera drama front. And tell you about that courtroom drama as well. It's going to be pretty action-packed, believe it or not, in jury duty. I missed the segment. I was talking to the waitress at Papa B's. Please tell me you don't call Applebee's Papa B's. Please tell me that's not a thing. Please tell me that's not a thing. All right, a lot of dispatches rolling in. And there are some gifted subscriptions available if you want to be on board. Tonight at 8 p.m. is Secret Shows. Don't miss it. Going to be a wild time, uncensored, streaming live on the website, thenewsjunkie.com, or in the app. How about that? You can subscribe for as little as $2.99. And just a little piece of information for you. We have an ad-free stream for subscribers. So when you're a subscriber to the show, supporting the show, we give you access to an ad-free stream, which is very expensive, honestly, to do. But it's a good feature. And it has an audio-only version. So if you're cruising along in your car, it's a great way to lock in on the show. And even if you're in like a low bandwidth situation, be good to go. Thank you, Seychelles, for the subscription. Did I miss a plane flying by on the screen? Not sure if I missed a plane flying by. I didn't see it. There must be something. Oh, let's see. Let's see. Hold on. Uh-oh. Hang on. You saw it? It flew by? Yeah, he does not know how to spell C-Lane's name, just for the record. That has not changed. YouTube folks, hit that like button over there. How about that? Hit that like button to support the show. Or hit subscribe. I got to see if it turned into 32,000 over here on my screen. 2 minutes and we're back live. I like the planes, but they need to be slower. I can slow them down a little bit. Sometimes I wish the plane flew slower. Okay, plane people. We'll slow down the plane a little bit. I see you. MPW, No, Mike, Tanya, Thang, BDM, Ash. 30 likes and Sean has to make this magnet? What magnet? I'll let the people decide. Hang on. Let me see. Under dispatches on the website. Oh, nobody wants this magnet. No. We're going to lose subscribers. I do have a surprise for you tomorrow on the show. You guys who are here for the stream every day, don't forget, remind me, a surprise for you tomorrow on the show. Yeah, I promise. I get it, everybody. Well, I'll slow down the planes for tomorrow. I will slow down the planes a little bit for tomorrow. All right, we're coming back right now. Don't forget about the surprise, though. Great Cotarino magnet is not it. Okay, here we go. About to wrap up hour 3. DJ Rage is right. Let's see that like button move a little bit.
Leaving money on the table. You see every offer side by side. That's how you know you're getting top dollar. Orchard offers means no repairs, no showings, no drawn out process. Before you accept any offer, see them all first. Get the free home valuation. See your offers today with Orchard Offers. Go to orchard.com. That's orchard.com.
Ready to play? From exciting slots and classic table games to immersive live dealer action, BetOnline brings the thrill of the casino wherever you are. Enjoy the freedom of online gaming at BetOnline, where the action moves with you and every moment is yours.
Need a new roof or windows? Visit hbnusa.com.
Watching the world burn with some friends since 2007. This
Come hang out with us in the world's most viral newsroom, and we love spending time with you here on the show. Forget the same 3 songs over and over and over. Join us here on the News Junkie. We got jury duty in just a moment. We'll work into that. In fact, maybe we should, because I've got some really interesting stuff I want to ask everybody about. So let's just flip the switch on it. Let's do jury duty.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass. You're now on jury duty with the News Junkie.
Jury duty brought to you by the one, the only Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. 800-CALL-MO, 800-CALL-MO, or go to justcallmo.com. After an accident, reach out to the attorney that is going to help you out. Make sure you get on the path to that big check you deserve. The way to do it. 800-CALL-MO, 800-CALL-MO, or go to justcallmo.com. These people, and I'm saying this generally speaking, in the weirdo side of the crime-obsessed world, I didn't know how crazy it had gotten. Like the
in what way?
Lunatic,
like how do you mean?
The lunatic problem, C-Lane, in the true crime world. Here's an example I'm going to give you. Right now, there's currently a case going on. It's a tough one, really. It's out of New York, and in this upstate New York town, Mechanicsville.
Yeah, Mechanicsville.
In Mechanicsville, New York, they discovered
Long Island, I believe,
a whole bunch of bodies, and they found out that a grandmother, a woman who was a grandmother, had killed a whole bunch of people, like a whole family, right? And the grandmother, who's 64 years old. I don't know, need to go into the details, but the young children and stuff were killed by this grandma. And they found handwritten notes that she did it. And there was tons of evidence tying this lady, Amy Stedman, 64, to the murder.
Definitely not Long Island.
It's not? No.
I said it wrong.
Mechanicsville, New York, though, is where it is. I hope I'm not saying that wrong, New Yorkers. If so, I apologize profusely. Don't whip me. But there's a father who was in a split custody situation in this circumstance. And the father was about to get the yearly custody he gets for the summer with all of his children. But all of them were killed, including his ex-wife was also killed by this grandmother, right? She murdered all of them, right? Four people. Total, four or five total she killed. And then admitted to doing this. And there's a whole trail of evidence leading back to this woman. So here's the guy, the father, who has been in the courtroom during the trial of this woman. And the fans that are following this true crime case are crazy. This is a father who had 4 kids that were killed by this woman. And the way this has been being treated on TikTok, this has 21,000 likes. And it says, there are thousands of women triggered. The reason? Because these are the eyes of a covert narcissist, and we've all looked into those eyes before. And so they're calling the father who lost all of his kids in these circumstances. He's a narcissist. By the way, the woman couldn't possibly have done it because she's a Leo and he's a Gemini. This guy's a Gemini. And it says, Leos don't kill, Geminis do. If he's a Gemini and she's a Leo, it was toxic between them and he did it. That's all I need to know. Oh, he's a Gemini. That just reinforces my belief that he was responsible. This is the father who his family, his kids, got wiped out, right, in this situation. But the crazy ass true crime fans who have totally lost the plot on this have decided that he's some sort of monster. Here's some other comments on this guy.
Because he's got a creepy face? Or
yeah, because he's got a creepy face and because there's no story that doesn't have a conspiracy now. TikTok psychosis is what you might call this. Somebody says TikTok psychiatrist. I'd call it TikTok psychosis. There are people, and it's largely populated by women who are in this true crime world, who start to think like nothing can be cut and dry. Like there's a couple of cases that come to mind. One is the woman who was found hanged nude, and people thought there's no way anybody can do that to themselves, so the family must have been involved. And her family kept pushing that this wasn't a suicide because she was naked and she hanged herself. She couldn't have done this. And they came up with all these conspiracies and went to court against the guy's family. It's very, very similar to the case, if you don't know it, where the woman died and she had all these like knife wounds to the back of her neck.
Yes.
And that also was like, they were like, this couldn't be a suicide. And so then they hound the fiance of this person for the rest of his life. This guy wasn't there, wasn't in the state, wasn't anywhere near it. And now all these women are coming after him, the victim, the father who lost 4 kids. A comment says, I'm convinced she was in an abusive relationship and that triggered her PPD and psychosis. If you've not been through it, you have no idea how twisted your internal thinking becomes. You blame yourself for everything.
Clearly, Sean.
Believe nothing you can do is good enough or correct. If it was her who actually killed her baby, she would never be free from pain, and she would never be free from it because of this guy, they believe. In his defense, Gemini guys look a bit like this.
Why are people so focused on the guy's astrological sign?
They're crazy people.
Is it just because there's a significant overlap in the people who are crazy about true crime and the people who really put a lot of weight into the astrological signs?
Yep. There's a Venn diagram between those two things, and the people that fit in both are so crazy that they victimize a father who lost 4 kids. In his defense, Gemini guys just look a bit like this covert, malignant narcissist, probably the most dangerous kind. This is of the father. I saw this photo of the father last night. I can feel the evil, says this woman. And these have tons of likes and stuff, too. So all of these people are attacking the father who lost these kids. When the rage hit, the eyes turned black. The defense attorney's being so surgical with his approach, he's going to rip this dude's mask right off right in front of everybody to watch. The black eyes are real. Like so much of this. Women rallied against Casey Anthony because we knew she was guilty. Women rally for Lindsay because we know she is innocent, they said in this case. So, like, this guy didn't do it. I might be twisting the wires on this, on whether it was, like, the same case as the New York one or not. But his children were killed.
Yeah.
And the wife killed the children in this case. And then people on social media, to the tune of millions and millions and millions of views, are going after the father because they think he looks guilty. And he's a Gemini. And this guy lost his kids. And you're like, wow, how unhinged are you people? It's just absolutely wild.
You know who he looks like? He looks like an actor who's been in a handful of things and is in the current season of Silo. And in Silo, he's a good guy. But in another show that I really enjoyed, the Designated Survivor, he was one of the bad guys, and he had like a look to him as the bad guy that, I mean, maybe it's just unfortunate that this dad has that look, but look up Ashley Zuckerman.
Okay.
Zuckerman. Look him up on IMDb.
Yeah, he does look like this guy.
Looks
I've seen this guy before.
Just like this dude.
Yeah, hang on. Let me see if I can put them together.
If you
here.
look at his IMDb page and like you see some of the stills where he's being more serious and acting, you're like, oh, it's the guy.
Hang on. I've got them both here for the stream people. YouTube.com/the News Junkie. Here's the actor guy scene that's talking about. I could see it. Yeah. I could see it.
Like,
so he's got
would be a shoo-in to play this dad in the eventual docudrama.
But they took screenshots of this guy in court, and then they're just trying to act like, well, that makes him look guilty. So this guy is a monster, and therefore, like, bro, what are you doing? I'll pull up some more details on the story because I think Grok maybe gave me the wrong story connected to this. So I'll clean that up. We'll take a quick break, and we'll get into the Power Hour. I also have a very, very strange story to tell you next. We got updates on the Flock camera drama and much more in the final hour of the show. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
The Coke Zero Sugar 400 returns to the World Center of Racing with the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series on August 28th and the Coke Zero Sugar 400 on August 29th. Experience the thrill of NASCAR like never before. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com. Visit RealRadio.fm/contest for all the info and to find out how you can score free tickets.
From the Odoo.com traffic.
Hello. Oh, yeah, this is the Lindsay Clancy trial. It's a televised trial going on right now. Okay, perfect. I've got the perfect story to tell us what's going on here and clarify some of what I said there. I connected it to the wrong story in New York, I think. My apologies for that. Grok said this is from this story, and it was wrong. But I'll clarify that next. Couple minutes and we're back live. Lindsay Clancy wiki. Let's see what this says. Okay. Lindsay Clancy is a 35-year-old former labor and delivery nurse from Massachusetts on trial for first-degree murder in the strangulation deaths of her 3 young children. Her high-profile trial centers on whether severe postpartum psychosis or over-medication drove her actions. So the father lost 3 kids. 3 kids. She did it and then jumped from a second-story window of her home. She's now paralyzed from the waist down. She pleaded not guilty, blaming postpartum, which is a different argument altogether, which is, interesting in and of itself. But the father, no sane and rational, normal person thinks the father in this case had anything to do with it. But these people online are like, he's a Gemini. He's a Gemini. He did it. Look at him. He looks guilty. Some of you true crime people are absolutely off the walls bonkers. Just nuts. And what you do is you forget that there's human beings on the other side of this. Imagine your 3 kids are killed brutally in this unbelievably shocking case. Your marriage is blown up and all these things go sideways. And afterwards, you have to look at these people coming up with a niche conspiracy that goes sort of mainstream on social media because TikTok feeds this shit down the pipeline. Crazy. There was an issue with her meds? Sure. We'll look into that in a second. What's really wild, those people think the star sign is a reason to be guilty or innocent. Maybe I feel personally hit here because I hate to say it, folks. I'm a Gemini. Okay? So these people are taking shots at me while they take shots at this guy. They feel like they're playing some pretend game with no real stakes. You follow me on this? Like they feel like they're playing a video game or something. They're playing some sort of video game. There's no real stakes in this. We could just endlessly speculate, suggest that the Gemini dad actually did it. Like he's not going to see these things. But it's not a game. It's real life. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? Is this how brain rotted the true crime community or some corners of it actually have become? They're like, actually, she didn't even do it. Here's the conspiracy. I'm going to give you the conspiracy in this story in just a moment. No, I don't think that was about me. No. I didn't take that personally. Sean, these TikTok women don't care. They won't ever have kids or a husband. They hate men and they want them all dead. I mean, all I know is, like, this isn't a game. It's real life. It's messed up what you're doing. But people run wild with this stuff. They did this with a chick who got away with plowing into her cop boyfriend. Remind me of this case. The woman with the police officer boyfriend, she was clearly inebriated, driving her vehicle from the bar. She allegedly backed into him with her vehicle. The vehicle got into a collision. We know that much. She was so drunk that allegedly she went home after that. Then we have all kinds of voicemails that she was leaving, and she didn't even realize what was going on. And then they blamed it on like this conspiracy of the good old boys and the police working with Karen Reed. Thank you. They blamed it on this big grand conspiracy of the good old boys and the police. And here's the true story. And if you don't think this shit is a problem, they won. She got away in that case. She was found not guilty in that case. It's the white people OJ case. Crazy. And these people are ending up on juries, maybe a jury in your case. Absolutely crazy. That is something to be worried about. Now she's suing the police. I know. Imagine that. Crazy. I want to get into the details of this. Let's get into the weeds a little bit. All right, Lindsay Clancy, 2023. Okay, stand by. Coming back.
$9,000 per year on $100,000, guaranteed for retirement income. Don't keep working when you're supposed to be retired, and don't let any financial advisor tell you it's too good to be true. Unlock your Trajan family office at TrajanWealth.com or call 1-855-TRAJAN-1. That's 1-855-TRAJAN-1.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. DBA in most states has Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Common sense meets complete nonsense. This is the News Junkie.
Be listening nonstop. Hop off the high.
I'm going to clear up a couple of things. Couple of things to get on the record here in just a moment on the show. Also, we got to launch the Power Hour. Learn more about the show over at thenewsjunkie.com. Shouts out to the folks. We're at 43, way over our goal, gifted or subscribers during the day. And I'm taking to a thing now where I thank everybody at the end for any gifted subs or just for subscribing to a premium account. Go do that now at thenewsjunkie.com. Maybe your name is coming up in just a bit. Here's the deal. First of all, I got something wrong, and I truly apologize for that. I am sorry. I got something wrong.
Dad's guilty, isn't it?
No. I saw the images, and then I took to asking the AI in the thread. I was like, who is this guy? What is this case? And it gave me a completely irrelevant story. So I'm very, very sorry for that. That is an inaccuracy, and I apologize. The case in question is the Lindsay Clancy case. It's going on right now. It's a high-profile case. A lot of the networks are streaming it, and they're in the courtroom. It's a pretty gruesome case, so I don't want to focus on the details too much, but I want to talk about why it's important for you and why this is absolutely unhinged. The details of the case are that this woman who she blames that she had like postpartum issues and that they were switching up her medication quite a bit, but she was a labor and delivery nurse from Massachusetts, Lindsay Clancy. She's on trial for first-degree murder. This happened in January of 2023. She strangled her 3 young children. It's terrible. It is absolutely terrible. 5, 3, 8 months, okay? And she is claiming that it was severe postpartum or possibly over-medication that caused her to do this. So happened on January 24th, 2023. This woman, Lindsay Clancy, allegedly used exercise bands to do this while her husband was out getting food and medicine for the family. And then she jumped from a second-story window, and that left her paralyzed from the waist down. So she entered a not guilty plea. She said, again, extreme postpartum psychosis and over-medication is the problem. And prosecutors are saying that this was intentional and that this woman really is, she's an evil person. She, in fact, sent her husband out to do these errands so that she could do this to her family. Now, what I was telling you about was the other side of the coin here, because the father was testifying. And this is the important bit right here. I am saying that there is an element of extremism that has seeped in to this true crime community that is following this Lindsay Clancy case in court. And these people are suggesting that the father did it, that he was the one responsible. Just look at him. He looks like an evil murderer, narcissist, and he must be. He's a Gemini.
Got the black
Leo.
eyes of evil.
He's got evil black eyes, and like they're going into the star signs. He's a Gemini, and I'm taking shots here because I'm a Gemini. You know what I mean? I'm like oh God, it's so crazy how far they've gone. And these people are on juries. They could be on your jury. God forbid something happened. These types of people that are so roped up and crazed out in the true crime world and are conspiracy crazy, so that they take a father whose 3 kids were killed and they say he's actually the evil villain in this case. They feel like they're just playing games and there's no real stakes in this. It's not a game, right? This is the real world. And it's not just that this guy has to see the results of this craziness and these conspiracies online, but it's that these are legit people that are ending up on jury trials, on juries all over the place. And it's poisoned. Like your brain is poisoned when you get to this level. It's worse than political brain rot. Here's some stories about the conspiracy that's going on with some of these folks. I just wanted to clear this up. Yeah, it's the Lindsay Clancy case. And it reminds me of Karen Reed, where Karen Reed got a bunch of true crime fans whipped up in a frenzy when it became pretty clear to me, even though she wasn't found guilty of this, all right? Everything I'm about to say is my thoughts and opinions on what I think actually took place. But the similarities between this and something like the Karen Reed case are important to think about. Karen Reed was this woman who was dating a police officer. They went out and drank. They had a tumultuous relationship, especially when they drank. She had a lot to drink that night. There's security footage of them drinking at the bar. Then she was driving her vehicle. She went to drop him off at this house. She says that like she dropped him off and he went in. And then the prosecutors were saying that she backed into him with her vehicle because she was angry and drunk. Then she went home and called a whole bunch of times and left these crazed drunk messages where she was calling him all sorts of horrible names. He died that night in the front yard. And I believe she was driving and ran into him. But they came up with this whole cockamamie story of the good old boys conspiring together. And there was the cops who were in on this thing. And the husband actually went inside the house when she dropped him off. And the cops were trying to get back. And it was a huge, crazy conspiracy of true crime nut jobs. And it worked. It literally worked. She got off. She is not guilty. And she's suing the cops. And this whole thing was a big conspiracy that roped in enough of the true crime crazies that they ended up on the jury, and they didn't even find her guilty. The biggest legal travesty since O.J. Simpson, for God's sake. And so I think that there's legit a problem with this. It's like the TikTok brain infecting people is going to infect our jurors. It's going to infect our judicial system.
Do you have you formed an opinion on her defense that she was over-medicated?
The woman who, in this case, who
yes,
killed
Lindsay
her kids. I don't know if she was or wasn't. I think that's a valid defense. I think that's fine for them to hash that out in court.
Do you want to know how many medications she was on?
How many was she on?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Were they all like psychoactive?
Zoloft, Valium, Trazodone, Prozac, Lamictal, Seroquel, Remeron, Klonopin, Buspirone, Ativan, Amitriptyline, and Ambien.
Yeah, I think she should get her day in court. I think she should have a fair shot at her defense. That sounds over-medicated to me. I don't know what caused this. But I know that blaming the father, who was not there when it happened, and saying actually he was the one who killed him is crazy. I think they have a synopsis of this on News Nation here. Let's listen.
On social media, you've got this whole narrative that has erupted where people are blaming the ex-husband, Patrick Clancy. You know, he's now remarried, but people, and I was even in the airport today, Mark, and I overheard two young women talking about the husband, blaming him, saying he's got to somehow be responsible for this. He wasn't supportive enough. Look at this. This is a little bit of what he had to say.
This is craziness. Like, it's in the real world. He's hearing this. Like, women are going, I think he's responsible, like it's a game. It's not a video game.
He probably told them to go back down into the basement, that he was going to handle things, but then realized, oh, these kids were a witness. They've seen things that they can no longer unsee, and unfortunately, instead of being the hero dad, and this was a very unfortunate turn of events, now he had to take them down in the process because they were witnesses to what has occurred.
Y'all, she posts this woman that they're playing. I'll give you more of these. This woman posted, I think Patrick Clancy 100% did it. It's just brain rot, and they're putting this out on social media, and this poor guy at the center of this lost 3 kids.
He yelled, she killed the effing kids. Like, the way that is worded is so freaking weird. I'm starting to believe this theory.
Are we ever going to get to hear from Lindsay? Because this entire thing is pushed by what Patrick's narrative is, and it's driving me insane.
Oh my God.
Something is off.
So what do you make, Mark, of this explosion of animosity towards the ex-husband on social media? And do you think if people at home are thinking this, is it possible that the jurors are also thinking about this?
Yes.
Yeah, look, people are angry, and they want someone to blame, and the more people they can blame, the better. And many people think, well, you should have known. You either knew or you should have known. You could have done more. But I also think it's, people love conspiracy theories.
Yes, they do. They do. But this is the real world. This is warped stuff, man.
And what sucks is, like, I don't even know that you would get much. Mm-hmm. But he can't really go after anybody for, all these videos of these women saying this, they're like, I think, even though the one girl said, I think he's 100% guilty, she still just thinks that. She's not saying this guy's 100% guilty.
Yeah, and to add on to what you're saying, Celine, it's not like, what are we going to do, sue a bunch of rando TikTokers? They don't have any money. There's nothing going on here. And they feel like they're playing a video game, and they're like, oh, well, what if, this ain't Clue. Like, what if it was the contractor with the candelabra and I don't know, however the game goes. What if it was
lead pipe.
the cop with the lead pipe in the study, right? Like, no, these are people. He lost his kids, you monsters. You've read too many books or done too many true crime podcasts, and it's now rotted your brain. And now these crime weirdos are on our juries, for God's sake. Holy cow. All right, let me let that sit in. Okay. I'm going to let that sit in. Let's do the power hour.
They said it couldn't be done. Then they said,
obviously I'm a firefighter. I'm naked in a fire truck right now.
It's time for the power hour on the News Junkie.
Clearly.
True. Yeah. Oh, God. All right, I want to work in some dispatch. Do we have time for a couple of these?
Yeah, 1 or 2.
All right, let's see. We could do some Rate My Blanks because that's our big challenge for the week, and that will wrap up tomorrow. This week, your Rate My Blank is Rate My Celebrity Encounter. Be quick. You got about 30 seconds or something. Get the point across as fast as you possibly can. And let's start with, here is Jay with a Celebrity Encounter. All right.
Hey, News Junkies.
Hey.
So here's my celebrity story. I grew up a big wrestling fan. And growing up in Daytona,
got to meet a whole lot of those guys. They have summer homes and condos and stuff.
Okay.
So I got to meet a guy named Chris Benoit one time. I actually worked out with him at the gym, worked in a couple sets and stuff like that. He was a super nice guy. If you're not familiar with Chris Benoit, he wasn't a big deal at the time, but he did go on to become a pretty big star and become a champion and all that.
And then the other thing
unfortunately died, and they did a whole big tribute show to him the next night, only to find out a couple of days later he murdered his wife and his son and then hung himself from the cable machine in his home gym. So, yeah, super nice guy.
It's getting dark, man. It's getting dark in here in the Power Hour right now. It's getting dark.
I don't know if I remember the whole part about the tribute show.
That was true.
Did they not know enough about the death?
They thought there was like an attack or something. I vaguely remember the details on that. AJ Soup has a Rate My Celebrity Encounter.
So I worked in character entertainment at our local theme parks for about a decade and got to meet a lot of celebrities, but a lot of the time it was while I was wearing my costumes. I actually got to meet Queen Sofia of Spain while I was playing the role of Winnie the Pooh on a touring show.
Okay.
I played Ring Around the Rosie with her and her grandchildren backstage. It was kind of fun.
Nice.
I got to meet Gavin Rossdale and his drummer from Bush backstage at the Hard Rock Live after doing a character dinner, and he offered myself and my partner who was playing Winnie Woodpecker a Heineken and a big fat rolled joint. So that was kind of fun. And I got to meet Shaquille O'Neal actually personally face to face after someone in his entourage got kicked out of the park for punching Jimmy Neutron in the head. So that was a fun one.
Okay.
Those are just a few of the highlights.
Those are good. Thank you, AJ.
Not
Appreciate
bad.
that. All right, I'll give you a bookmark. Here's somebody with a TTS dispatch. That's text to speech. You can send these in if you're a subscriber on the website. And they have a question for us, Sealand. So let's listen.
So I have a question if I'm out and about and I'm driving around all day, every day, and I'm a married guy. Is it wrong to go to a fancy restaurant by myself and keep it secret? I love my lady, but it gets expensive with two rather than one. I get one shot at life, and I don't feel I should miss out on things just because I don't want to pay for two people. I just want to pay for me. Is that wrong to keep that secret?
Is it wrong to secretly go out to dinner without your wife so that you don't have to pay for two meals and then not tell your wife that you're secretly going out to fancy dinners without her?
It's kind of a weird thing to... I don't know if I could say wrong. It's just kind of a weird thing to lie about.
Yeah, let's give it over to chat. What do folks think? Is it wrong to secretly go out and have dinners at fancy restaurants and then not tell your wife about it? You're not cheating on her. You're not doing anything. You don't want to spend the money of two people going out together. Is that wrong to do? We'll toss it over to you folks.
I think if she found out you were just going out and having... Well, how would she not know that you went out to dinner without her?
She wouldn't unless she looked at like the debit card purchases, maybe.
Maybe, but I mean, in this situation,
if you share a bank account, she's like, "Whoa, hold on."
In this situation,
that is cheating. That's not cheating.
No, in this situation, it sounds like they don't share a bank account because she could very easily figure that kind of stuff out. I just think it's a weird thing to like have to lie about or hide, and the fact that you're hiding makes you look guiltier than you normally would.
Definitely. Yeah. If you were doing this and you just told them, I don't know. That's a tough one. Is it wrong to secretly go out to expensive dinners without your wife or your husband and not tell them, but you want to enjoy the finer things? You don't want to have to pay for two people. Give us your thoughts. We'll be continuing on with the Power Hour in just a moment.
I just had a really fancy lunch, and instead of hiding it from my wife, I texted her a picture to brag about it.
Said, suck it. Check it out.
Exactly.
Look at me. I'm pounding some delicious food. All right, quick break. When we come back, the Power Hour continues. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Skull mic activated. Stand by, folks. I got to do a live read for the great Mills Air.
Got
That's 1-800-747-3733.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
All lanes are getting by now southbound on I-95 between Old Dixie Highway and U.S. Highway 1. Traffic still backed up pretty heavy from State Road 100. And just keep an eye out for road rangers still in the area. The left lane's only getting by northbound on 429 at US 192. The off-ramp's blocked. The right lane's blocked as well. There's a crash getting cleared up there. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big. No retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
Folks, everybody needs a little help sometimes. Sometimes you're in over your head and you don't realize just how bad things have gotten until your AC starts clinking and clunking, and then it doesn't work anymore. Just happened to C-Lane. And he had the folks from Mills Air come out, and then it was a small part. They got everything fixed, capacitor or whatever. They explain to you what's going on. They're honest with you. They're straight up, and they get your AC working again, which is the most important thing. But it's hot out there, and you deserve to be nice and cool. 94 degrees right now. You deserve to have an AC that's working the way you want it at the temperature that you want, and a company like Mills Air will get you fixed and back in business. They're a Carrier factory authorized dealer. If you need a new Carrier unit, you're in real good hands. You could always turn to the experts at Carrier, and you could always turn to family-owned and operated Mills Air. Give them a call, 407-277-1159. That's 407-277-1159. Or find them online at millsair.com.
Need a new roof or windows? Visit HBN.
All right, we're back. Stand by. Just getting Today I Learned ready. I already got our final song locked and loaded. The Power Hour is rolling. Hello? Hi. How are you? Is that tequila? Is that for secret shows tonight at 8 p.m.?
Yeah.
The one that's streaming on thenewsjunkie.com for subscribers? Thank you. Oh, let me see. Hey, let me see. Oh, it looks nice. Yeah, you like it? It looks great. Stand by. Got to load up the Secret Show's fridge. These gentlemen do not work if there's not any delicious White Claws. Oh no, I think my butt crack is hanging out again. Okay, pineapple. Here's my favorites, the limes. Gotta love the limes. Can't believe these lunatics on these true crime websites. On TikTok, just out there just getting straight crazy. Okay, all right. Foot still hurts. Thank you, Water Boys, for the subscription. Appreciate that. Thanks for the gifted sub. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Where were we? Gotta have the claws. It's going to be a good show tonight, 8 p.m., only for subscribers. You can watch or listen on thenewsjunkie.com. If you miss it on Thursdays at 8 p.m., the show is posted on demand at your leisure. Watch on the app, on the website, on your TV, wherever your little heart desires. 5 p.m. on Fridays. That's when it's available. And on Discord. Yes, that's true. For the folks who figure out the extra bells and whistles, you can connect your Secret Shows account under my account on thenewsjunkie.com. You can connect it to Discord to get additional privileges. And then you can watch the show on Discord if that is to your liking. I don't care how you watch. That's on you. By the way, the update on the WNBA, for those of you waiting with bated breath, Caitlin Clark has defended her coach, Stephanie White. She says she was upset that the fans had booed her. And the WNBA is now saying the players Enes Kanter-Freedom and Royce White, who are declaring themselves eligible for next April's WNBA draft, these guys who said they identify as women, they're saying they're doing it in bad faith. Now, I don't know how you determine whether somebody's doing it in bad faith or not bad faith. It almost seems like that opens a Pandora's box, which is kind of the intent of the whole thing, isn't it? It almost feels like that's what's happening. WNBA management just really delivering. Zucchini bread? What? Who in the hell? All right, the Power Hour rolls on. We got less than 30 minutes. I hope you're having a good time. If you've enjoyed any of the show today, hit that like button over on YouTube. YouTube.com/thenewsjunk.
For heartburn relief, the effervescent tablets start neutralizing acid in seconds, so you can sit back, relax, and unwind from your day. Next time heartburn hits,
quick, Alka-Seltzer.
Use as directed.
Training camp is open. The countdown to kickoff is on.
And it's time to get in the game.
iHeartRadio is the official home of the NFL Podcast Network.
We're obviously incredibly excited if you just want to talk about defense.
Get the insight before it's a headline with NFL Daily with Greg Rosenthal.
Thank you to Sean McVay.
Chasing a fantasy title, the Late Round Fantasy Football Podcast helps you draft like a genius.
And hopefully it helps you guys out the most.
This
is what football sounds like.
Download the iHeartRadio app, search NFL, and press play.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Where common sense meets complete nonsense. This is the News Junk.
p.m., 8 p.m., 8 p.m., 8 p.m. on Thursdays. Secret shows.
Late one.
No. 8 p.m. is when we start Secret Shows, uncensored for subscribers over on thenewsjunkie.com. Tips at thenewsjunkie.com. We'll get into your messages here in just a moment. There's a couple of things I wanted to do before we got out of here today. Hang on. What was it? Well, first, let's get to this, I guess. Kelly emails the show to tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Kelly says, hey, junkies, this doesn't count since it's not a dispatch. But when I was 13, I worked at this fancy Hallmarkish store in Middleburg, Virginia. It was Christmas time, and Jackie Onassis came in.
Onassis?
Onassis?
I think it's Onassis.
Jackie O.
Jackie O.
Right? She bought 3 boxes of Russell Stover's chocolates at $10 a pop, and her credit card was declined.
Ooh.
I had to tell her. She ended up using another one and left. Afterwards, all my coworkers were very exciting, saying, do you know who that was? I had no idea. I was only 13. Jackie O was JFK's wife, right? Jackie Onassis? Yes, JFK's wife. And Very, very famous lady at the time.
My friend happened to be shopping at an AT&T store in the Restaurant Row area, and randomly somebody came in the door to buy a charger for his wife. Mm-hmm. And this is not a do you know who that was situation. I'm pretty sure everybody knows who Paul McCartney is.
Yeah.
The guy just
he's pretty famous as far as I recall, right?
Yeah. I think, I don't know if anybody asked him for pictures. Somebody had to have asked him because he didn't want to take pictures with people. He was just, his wife had lost her phone charger, so they just pulled up. He ran in to buy the charger, and then he's like, all right, thank you, and left.
Mm-hmm. He didn't sing any Beatles songs or anything?
No. What a jerk.
Yeah. God. You could give us Imagine or something. You could do something.
That was John Lennon.
Oh, shoot. Well, that's why he does that one, just to make Lennon mad, just to make him angry. Here is a story that a couple of people sent in that's going viral. 4.1 thousand upvotes on this one. It says, my boyfriend did something very odd last night. I got my first apartment, and nobody has really visited other than my parents and my boyfriend. He's been over every day since I moved in. I do not have a problem with this. So clarification, it's only been him and I in my apartment, really. So we're watching a movie, and he's like, I'll be right back. I'm going to go to the restroom. Okay, normal. So he comes out, and we talk, and we continue the movie. Then I had to use the restroom, and as I'm handling my business, I look down at my trash can, and it's unusual. There's a piece of toilet paper in there, and I'm looking at it, wondering what it is. And I'm like, oh, that's S. And I call him to the bathroom to ask him what it is, and he gets embarrassed, rightfully so, because I truly didn't believe that he was being serious. I thought he was goofing around, but his reaction confirmed my thoughts.
I asked him, in poop?
Yes.
Okay.
I asked him why, when he wipes, he puts it in the trash can instead of the toilet. And his response was he was taught to do it that way. So my question is this an unusual thing, or do people do this a lot? We're different ethnicities. I'm black and he's Mexican. So I was wondering if it's a cultural thing. I was thinking maybe because they used to live in trailers and the toilets would get clogged up, but I don't know. Somebody please clear it up for me. Is this normal?
Suspect.
So she says she didn't know. Her boyfriend comes over, and then she discovers that when he uses the toilet paper, just puts it in the little tiny toilet trash can in the bathroom.
How are you to the point where your boyfriend and girlfriend, maybe they're not adults, or maybe they're very young adults.
She's got her first apartment, so
old enough to have an apartment.
Yeah.
Your boyfriend has been over every day since you got this apartment, and you're just now figuring out that he doesn't flush his toilet paper?
He doesn't, but I think that is kind of a cultural thing in her defense, for her to wonder, like, hey, what's going on? Or maybe even in his defense. I think in some countries, like we just got done watching a series, a new series. You guys will hear about it later. It's very hard to get right now. It's called 2 Weeks in August. I think Apple just purchased it.
Why is it so hard to get?
It's hard for people to get. You know what I mean? Like, some people have it ahead of time.
Oh, you got an advanced copy.
Some people don't quite have it ahead of time. Apple TV is purchasing this, I believe, in the U.S. And it's called 2 Weeks in August. And in it, this group of friends, they're all like young friends. Some of them are coupled up. Some of them are single. And they go to an island off of Greece, I believe, to have a holiday, an extended vacation.
Oh, is this why Courtney keeps wanting to call everything a holiday?
Yes. Yeah, it's part of the reasoning. And the story about what happens in this series, 2 weeks in August, a lot of interesting things, some interesting twists and turns. I think people are going to kind of dig this when it comes out. Maybe not. But I thought it was decent. I enjoyed it, and I was having an interesting time with it. But when they get to this like Airbnb resort place that they were at in Greece, they said, please do not flush toilet paper. When you use it, put it in the trash can, because our plumbing is very old here. And in these countries with very old plumbing, you don't want to flush this stuff. It'll all get backed up. So just please put it in the trash can, and then we throw it away afterwards. So maybe that's a thing. In the United States, we got big ass pipes, and we use way too much toilet paper, and we flush it, and whoosh, it goes out and makes Johnny Bergs. And And it does all
Big
that
ass
stuff.
pipes.
Yeah, we got big ass pipes in the United States. But I think in other countries, this might be more normal. Question. We'll see. Maybe you have some thoughts on this on the way out.
I'm used to not flushing sanitary napkins, not flushing paper towels.
Yeah.
But the rest of that, almost cursed. The rest of that stuff.
That you were going to say what it actually was?
Yeah, it goes down.
Yeah. Yeah. I would have thought so. There is somebody with a dispatch on this. Let's work in Billy's dispatch.
The reason being is the pipes in other countries aren't good. I have a bunch of Brazilians that do it at my work, and we've told them over and over again to not do it. Wiggle, wiggle, pop, pop.
He says he blames the Brazilians this time. The other guy was, I think, a Mexican who was doing that. But there's more people in on this. We've got somebody on the phones. Hello, you have experience with this?
Hello?
Hey, go ahead. What's your story?
Hey, so every time I've ever traveled outside the country, or more so in Central America, in El Salvador, they make you, it says in all the restrooms that you have to take the toilet paper and put it in the trash can. And if you don't, they really will get upset.
Like there's a message in the bathroom that says, please don't flush, put it in the trash can?
Correct.
Really?
So they don't allow you to flush any toilet paper anywhere. When I was there, and every time I go there, they don't allow you to flush toilet paper down the toilet.
Did you do it, or did you follow their directions and put it in the trash?
First time I did it, and then every time after that, you follow the directions and put it in the trash. It's kind of actually common decency, as well as some places there. The bathroom, they don't have toilet paper, so you have to go to the gas station, buy the toilet paper, then go to the said bathroom.
Oh my God! Okay, I can't do this. That's a lot. All I ask for in your country is that I can use the bathroom.
That was not a thing in Costa Rica. If it was, there was some sort of Airbnb thing that every one of us that went did not read, because that was not a thing. And I think all of us, and there were 6, 7 of us that went on that trip. Yeah. We all used the toilet like normal.
I would expect that in any place you were paying for. Okay, when we come back, final dispatch, your stories that didn't make the cut. And today I learned to wrap everything up for a Thursday. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Music Weekends are classic alternative. Classic alternative this weekend on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Odoo.com Weather Center. Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
Happy Thursday, Central Florida.
Chad, have you ever encountered that? Put the toilet paper in the trash can and don't flush it. Is that something you've encountered before?
This report is sponsored by Pro-Life Across America.
Hi, I'm Angie. Did you know a billboard can save a baby's life? It's true. You can make a difference by helping us spread the pro-life message to reach those who are struggling with unplanned pregnancy. Please make a gift today. Visit prolifeacrossамerica.org.
Big thanks and shout out to Ocean Prime over there in the Restaurant Row area. Ocean Prime seafood steaks and cocktails.
This guy, he's talking about Ocean Prime right now, folks. Can I just tell you? C-Lane hit me up and he goes, yeah, back at the studio, just eating my filet mignon and my smashed potatoes side. Oh, God. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You have experienced that, huh? A bunch of you? It would feel so strange to do that and then put it in the trash can. You know what I mean? Like, it would feel weird to do that. All right, I got to cue this song up. This was the early one that I said, oh, we could do this. All right, folks. Hang on. Great. Just got the news that Courtney's car battery also needed to be changed in her Mercedes. So that's $550. And the cylinder head needed to be changed, which is thankfully covered by an extended warranty, but that's an $8,000 repair, I hear. Woo! Spark plugs for $250. $250 of spark plugs. A sensor for the gas cap so that when the doors lock, the gas cap locks. When the door is unlocked, the gas cap unlocks. $550 for that. I guess Secret Show's prices are going up. Well, I just need us to get to 45 today. We're at 44. Rate the show. Thanks to all of the folks who gifted and subscribed. Rate the show 10 out of 10. It goes right here into the Hall of Fame. No notes needed. Or 1 out of 10 into the Hall of Shame over here. Rate the show out of 10 today. I told you we'd do it, and I think we delivered. You will decide with your likes on this video. You will decide if you want to subscribe over on YouTube. It is without a doubt the slowest news day of 2026, in a slow news week, in a slow news month, in a slow news quarter. But we don't ever slow down over here. We always have something for you every single day. So if you liked any of it, hit that like button over on thenewsjunkie.com. 9.1 butt cleavages out of 10. You didn't see nothing. You liar. 10 out of 10 road fleshlights. 10 no apologies out of 10. All right, stand by. I'll ask him about it. He's texting me. So. He did say the battery failed. Well, I knew the battery was failing, but I don't know if it's magically failed. Yeah, I mean, we should do it anyways. Yeah. Somebody said that was a good deal for spark plugs. Well, it's only like there's no labor costs, I don't think, because they are going to have the engine completely ripped apart in Courtney's car, doing the fixing the head on the third cylinder. So since everything's already ripped apart, they just kind of throw in the labor for the spark plugs. But even with all that taken care of, it's going to be like $2,000. There we go. Sport Johnson with the gifted subscription. Now we can afford it. 10 out of 10 blubbering high teacher influencers. Okay. 90 seconds till we're back. Thank you for hanging out today. Thank you for being you. I'm going to give a shout out to all the people who gifted subscriptions. Thanks for supporting this show. We're coming up on like 25%. We're pretty close to 25% of where we need to be fully independent. And I think we have a chance to get there. I mean, it's pretty stunning how much you guys can help us out and really show your support. So if you want to do that, subscribe right now over at thenewsjunkie.com, as little as $2.99 a month. Subscribe right now. And we'll see you at 8 p.m. tonight, uncensored for secret shows, live on thenewsjunkie.com. Thank you, everybody. We love you. We appreciate you. And we'll see you on the other side. Stay gold.
Custom blinds, simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big. No retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
Teachers make a difference each and every day. Now's your chance to say thanks. iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose. Nominate an outstanding public school teacher who goes above and beyond for students. They could be one of our $5,000 winners for classroom supplies and resources. Teachers give so much. Now it's our turn to give back. Nominate a teacher now at iHeartRadio.com/teachers.
Save every day at Headquarter Hyundai. We've dropped prices on acres of new Hyundais. Visit headquarterhyundai.com. preparing you for the impending robot uprising. This is the News Junkie.
That didn't make the cut. And today I learned to wrap everything up for a Thursday. And even on the slowest news day in the year, on the slowest news month in the year, and the slowest news cycle of the year, we're still out here belting out hits for you and trying to make some fun stuff happen here on the show. Big thank you, by the way. Let me toss these out there. Big fat thank you to DJ Rage for 10 gifted, Cyclonus with 23, R. Willie B with 5, Beware 211 with 3, Seychelles snuck one in there with 1, Waterboys and Sport Johnson with 1. Those were our supporters today on the show. And they have gifted those subs. You can claim one and get in on secret shows. Uncensored secret show, Thursday, 8 p.m., thenewsjunkie.com. You'll see the countdown timer and everything, and you'll be able to watch fully uncensored. It's a blast. You can also watch on Discord. But if you don't know how to do that, it's very simple. If you're a subscriber, you'll see the countdown timer at 7 p.m. Show starts at 8 p.m. Eastern on Thursdays. And if you want to go deep on the show, that's the best way to do it and support us. All right, let's get the hell out of here. Let's do Today I Learned.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ. So don't get cocky. Now it's time for what we call Today I Learned.
It is Today I Learned for a Thursday, August 13th, 2026. Today I Learned this movie series right here. Cars. That's right, Cars, indeed. It's animated, so Sealand's never seen it, but
I have.
Fillmore?
I have been. I have born. I witnessed it. Ready for secret shows, man. I'm ready for some secret shows.
Fillmore, the hippie van from Pixar's Cars.
Hey, bro.
Was originally named Waldmeyer after the artist Bob Waldmeyer, whose work often focused on Route 66. Waldmeyer, a vegetarian, refused to let Pixar use his name because of the McDonald's toys that would promote the Cars movie. So they
knew that
changed
ahead
it
of
up.
time?
Yeah, I guess so. Somehow he asked her and didn't do that. And today I learned this is one of the types of people out there.
Is it never going to give it up?
Yeah, never going to give you up. Never going to give it up was the people that we identified earlier. Rick Astley.
I got to name the people?
He was only 20 years old when he released this song that's now a famous meme, a.k.a. Rickrolled. Thank you, folks, for being with us today. We had fun. We hope you did, too. You can join in on the action tomorrow. Same time, same place. We'll see you there. Missed any of the show? Get the podcast over at thenewsjunkie.com.